guys, good morning. Welcome to the live session of Stocks Network Trading. My name is Dave, guys. My partner is Ron. Let's get down to business here, guys.
In on US30, sell. Okay, I'm jumping in. Guys, that's a 100 pip drop. Yes, we caught it. Hey, guys, 200 pips, please secure.
Hey guys, good morning, welcome to the live session of Stocks Number Trading. My name is Dave, guys, my partner is Ron. Let's get down to business here, guys.
In on US30, sell. Okay, I'm jumping in. Guys, that's a 100 pip drop. Yes, we caught it. Hey, guys, 200 pips, please secure.
Recording in progress.
Welcome, snipers. Thank you for joining Stock Sniper Trading. My name is Ron. My partner is Dave. It's 7 a.m. Eastern, Monday morning, start of the week, April 14th. So thanks everyone for joining. The plan for today is we're going to go through this week's news, Monday to Friday, and we'll go through the earnings, and we're going to do 3 charts today, top-down analysis on 3 charts, like last Friday. What we'll do is gold, NASDAQ, and US30, and so everybody has a little bit of something that they're looking at. And so we gotta hustle today. We got a lot to do. It's a busy morning, and it's a short week this week as well. If you're choosing not to trade on Friday, it is Good Friday. Banks will be closed around the world. There'll be a limited volume. So some traders take that day off. If you're going to choose to trade that day, just make sure you understand what security you're trading. Will the market close early? Volatility and things like that. And also Monday of next week, Easter Monday, is a bank holiday as well. So most traders take the weekend off, Friday and Monday, long weekend for Easter weekend and things like that. But if you're going to trade, just trade careful, okay? Let's get started. Welcome everybody. And first thing we're going to do is start getting into the news. I go to Forex Factory. Okay, so a few things have already happened overnight in starting in Tokyo, moving into Europe. We have the ECOFIN meetings in Europe all day today. Right now, like I'm looking at 8:30, we don't have much what we're walking into today. There is going to be a few FOMC member speakers throughout the day, Barkin, Waller, and Harker throughout the day. From 12 p.m., 1 p.m., 6 p.m. It's not Powell. These guys are still important, but no one is as important in the FOMC as Powell. So we pay attention when Powell is speaking. And so that's basically today's day in news. We don't see any high volatility. Just treat it as a normal Monday and just trade careful at the start of the week. Going into tomorrow, Tuesday, busy day. Now look at all of the news throughout the day. So a lot of it starts in pre-London, right over here, 2 a.m. You have your British red folder, high impact, your claimant count change. A lot of British news. Then we move into 5 a.m. A lot of European news. In the UK, you also have your 10-year bond auction. Tentative, doesn't really say the time. Just careful on that. It's 4.68 right here. We'll see what if they increase. US has increased their 10-year and their 30-year bond as of last week. So we'll see, maybe UK will follow that. Then we move into 8:30 tomorrow morning. There is some Canadian news, Canadian red folders, CPI month over month. So we're going to see what's going on with inflation in Canada. Median CPI year over year and our trim CPI. So a lot to do with inflation in Canada Tuesday morning. We'll dissect that and continue to move throughout the day. Tomorrow morning, again, I'm just trying to see, not much going on in the afternoon. Then we start to move into after hours, and then again the rotation, Sydney, Australia, and then we move into the Asian sessions and the futures market open. Okay, so that's Tuesday. Again, no real high volatility news. We move into midweek this week, April 16, Wednesday. Again, pre-London is going to be busy. You have some British red folders. UK's CPI data will be coming out. Then we move into start to move into North American times. Also, Germany has a 30-year bond auction. Okay, so if you're trading DAX or anything like that, careful with this. And you got 30-year bonds coming out. And then we move into finally North American hours, 8:30 a.m. Wednesday. We do have some US red folders. We have our core retail sales month over month and our retail sales month over month. So we're going to see how consumers are spending their money in these times right now. So we'll see what's going on over here. Looks like consumer sales they're forecasting an increase from 0.3 previous month to 0.4, and retail sales month over month from 0.2, significant increase to 1.4%. So we'll see the actual numbers when they're released. And then we move into Wall Street hours, 9:45. We do have 3 Canadian folders Wednesday morning coming out during Wall Street. We have our own interest rates here in Canada that will be released. So Bank of Canada monetary policy report will be released, the Bank of Canada rate statement, and then the overnight rate. So right now Canada is sitting at 2.75% on the overnight lend rate. It's been dropping pretty much every single Bank of Canada. It's considered to be like FOMC for Canada here, and it's been dropping. Now they're actually pausing it 2.75% because of the tariffs right now, so they're pausing it. We'll see the actual number that comes out here. That will be Wednesday morning, and that's for Canada. And then we move into 10 a.m. Then 10:30, the Bank of Canada has their press conference. Okay. And then this one is important here too. Wednesday afternoon at 1:30 p.m. Remember, today we have some FOMC speakers, Barker, Harkin, but over here, this is the important one. You can see it's also signified by a red folder, high impact expected. At 1:30, you have Federal Chair Powell speaks. If you click on the folder, it will say where he's speaking. So he's due to speak about the economic outlook at the Economic Club of Chicago. So anytime he's speaking, we have to pay attention, because if he says anything about monetary policy, if he says anything about interest rates, inflation, things like that, then the US dollar will move, so we have to be ready for that. So that will be, mark that on your calendar, guys. That's Wednesday afternoon, 1:30 p.m. Eastern, and then we move into the close of the market in the after hours. Moving into Thursday, April 17 this week. Again, some news coming out in Europe, and then we move into 8:15 a.m., but Europe also has their refinancing rate. Looks like a decrease of 0.25% from 2.65. They're forecasting 2.4%, and Europe also has their monetary policy statement as well. We move into North American block right over here. US has their every Thursday morning at 8:30 their weekly unemployment claims. Again, there's no big significant change here from the last week. Last week it was 223,000 individuals unemployed. They're forecasting an increase of 2,000 individuals to 225, so no real significant increase. We'll see the actual number, and just remember these are weekly, so this is week over week every Thursday morning, giving us a good gauge of how unemployment is going over week. And then the big one is NFP, which is the first Friday of every single month. That's the big one, the big red folder. And just continue to go through here. Your Thursday morning, 8:45 in Europe, you got your England Central Bank press conference happening. And then we start with the bank holidays, moving into Good Friday. So then New Zealand and Australia, they start closing the banks for moving into Good Friday. Now we get into Friday. You can see we don't have much news. Like I was saying, it's Good Friday. The Swiss banks are closed, German banks are closed, British banks are closed, Canadian banks are closed. US will still be moving. You can trade it, but there's going to be a lack of volume. Spreads might be not favorable. So a lot of traders do tend to take this day off. That's up to you if you want to take the day off. Just make sure the security you're trading, maybe does it close early? Does Wall Street close early when you're trading, and things like that, okay? And just use proper risk management on Friday if you're going to trade. And also just going into the weekend, and just to show you Monday, again, Easter Monday, a lot of banks are closed as well. So you got your Swiss banks, French banks, German banks, Italian banks, British banks are all closed. Not much news. So again, take it easy on Monday of next week. So some traders have already planned Monday to Thursday this week, and then they're taking a long weekend. So just plan ahead, guys. Just plan ahead, okay? Some news going on with Trump. Will announce tariff rate for semiconductors over the next week. We'll see what's going on here. And so that's this week's news. Let's move into earnings really quickly. We had banks last Friday morning of last week. A lot of big banks were reporting. It's also, we got Goldman Sachs reporting at 7:25 in another 15 minutes. M&T Bank Core already reported, and that's today. So we're moving into financial reports with the big banks, and we're going to move into tech earnings very soon. And then let's see what we got in the after hours today. Again, I'm just looking for those big common names that we're all familiar with, the ones that will actually start to move these indices. Again, it's a lot of banks, FB Financial, you have Applied Digital, Pinnacle Financial. These are your smaller regional banks over here. And that's what we got for after hours today. Moving into Tuesday morning, now you start to see these are some common names you're familiar with. Bank of America Corporation is a big bank in the US. They report Tuesday morning 6:45. Citigroup, PNC Financial, and then some of you guys are familiar with Johnson and Johnson. So this is a big name as well in the United States. If you do trade US30, you should be familiar with Johnson and Johnson. So that's Tuesday morning. We've got some big names Tuesday morning. Tuesday after hours, United Airlines. We had Delta last week. Guidance was not that good. So we'll see earnings what United Airlines had in guidance. So why guidance wasn't that good? They were saying that with inflation and tariffs and travel and everything like that, they're going to see consumers maybe not traveling and vacationing as much in the near future. So that was the forward guidance that Delta gave last week. We'll see what United Airlines says. And then Interactive Brokers. Some of you guys trade with this broker. They're a publicly traded company. They report. And just continue to move through here. Not big names on that day. Wednesday before the open, ASML Holding, US Bancorp, Progressive Corp, smaller regional financials are reporting. First Horizon National Bank. We'll see. So you got your big banks that were last Friday, and then you see your smaller regionals will be reporting this week. And then we move into Wednesday, midweek, after hours, Alcoa. Again, smaller regional banks. Not much. Over here, now we got a big name. Thursday, April 17, before the open. Notice the time, 2 a.m. Eastern. Okay, so this is pre-London. We have TSM. This is Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing. So when we're watching the semiconductor industry, this is a big name. Okay, so they made a large, big investment in the United States. I believe it was $500 billion that they're gonna invest in America, and they are reporting, but they're reporting. Remember, 2 a.m. Eastern, pre-New York, pre-London. So we'll see. This might give us guidance to see how the tech sector is doing with semiconductors too. So pay attention also for Trump this week if he's announcing any tariffs on semiconductors and things like that. It's kind of taken off the table right now. Phones and computers and things like that are not going to get tariffed. That's what he was saying. That's why tech is up, like Apple is up right now. I believe 4 or 5% in the pre-market right now. Could be due to that news. We also have United Health Group. If you do trade US30, Dow Jones, this is the heaviest weighted security out of all 30 of those securities. United Health, it fluctuates from like 10 to 12% of the entire weight of US30. So this is 5:55 a.m. right before 6 a.m. on the date was this was Thursday morning. Okay, so this one, circle this if you do trade US30. This is a big name that you should be familiar with, United Health Group. So we'll see. This could dictate the way how US30 moves on Thursday morning. Okay, so United Health, big name. American Express, you guys are familiar with this. We're going to start to see some more financials now. Credit card companies. Okay, and then moving into, hopefully everyone is familiar with this name. This could be how they close out the week. And remember, Friday is a very slow day in the markets for Good Friday and all the banks go. But look at who reports Thursday after hours, April 17. Netflix. Okay, so this could start a run, to the upside. Netflix, if you guys remember last earnings, it broke all-time high over $1,000. So 4 p.m. Thursday after hours, please circle this so you guys are aware of this. They report this could lead into how everything trades going into next week after the Easter weekend. Okay, so we're going to see Netflix. Has anyone been watching Netflix lately? Do they have any good series on there? Remember, Netflix had they had the boxing match with Logan Paul. That was a big one. They had during Christmas time they hosted Christmas Day 3 NFL games. That was big as well. So are they doing anything like that? I don't watch Netflix too much, but that's what we kind of got to look for because that's how they make a lot of their money. Okay, on big events like that. So Netflix will be reporting Thursday after hours, and then we go into Friday, and you see there's not much going on. Before the open Friday, just one corporation, Good Friday. Most banks are closed globally due to Good Friday, and then you can see there's nothing in the after hours. And then as we move into next week, Monday before the open, you got Bank of Hawaii, Comerica will be reporting, and then it's Easter Monday. Okay, so that's for this week. Make sure pay attention to those days that have those big names. And then just looking at Yahoo Finance right now, what's going on right now. Let's see what's happening here. Gas prices tumble for third week. Deeper discounts expected as oil drops to a 4-year low. What else we got here? Let's see what's going on. A lot of tariff talk. Oil rebounds at end of losing week as trade war royal markets. What do we got going on? Trade tensions can lead to stock market crashes, according to the IMF. That's the International Money Fund. Okay, so Bank of Canada this week is more likely to halt interest rate cuts after tariff pause. So that's why 2.75 they're staying steady. It could be because the pause in tariffs and things like that. United Airlines, TSM, and Netflix earnings. So that's what I just talked about. What to watch. So that's a good. This is a good article. If you got some time today, maybe click on that one and read up on it, and then you'll know a little bit more information on what to watch for with those securities. Okay, so this is what's going on in the pre-market right now. A few things are moving. We do see some green on NASDAQ, mini Dow, E-mini. Crude is up right now, and gold is just pushing down just a little bit. Okay, so let's get into it, guys. Our Discord, we sent out a signal earlier this morning at 6 a.m. to 6 a.m. It came in to look for a sell on gold below 32.20, suggested stop loss of 75 pips, a TP suggestion of 150 plus, and it started moving. There's an 80 pip drop from the 3,220 20 minutes later, and then it continued to drop all the way down to like 32.08. For a good 120 pips there. So congratulations to those that took that signal and banked on those. And guys on YouTube, thank you guys for joining. There's a free Telegram channel pinned at the top for you guys. It's this right here. Okay, so we're just showcasing what we do. There's that signal that was sent out. There's 50% off if you guys want to join us on a 3-month and yearly plans. Use this code SST50 and that'll get you in there. We release new blogs to you guys over here, so this is great to have, guys. It shows you exactly what we're doing here at SST. And here's that discount code if you guys are interested. 50% off premium plans, included a 1 month, 3 month, 1 year. And you'll also get included a 10K FXFI prop firm account if you get the 3 month or year plan. That's the code to use, guys, okay? What I wanted to show you guys over here was our free blog available to everybody. And so last week we were talking a little bit about the SST guide of trading, investing in extreme volatility. This was for you guys to read about China and USA, the trade wars, what's going on. For members only, you got your weekly outlooks this week and a breakdown of the Scalper Pro trade idea, the long gold on April 11th. And also, guys, just a quick little read on common sense trading. Make sure you guys are using some common sense when you guys are trading. I see a lot of traders these days are lacking common sense and they're overcomplicating things. So key principles in common sense trading: your risk management, okay, number one. Understand market trends, as easy as this. If the market is trending up, making higher highs, higher lows, try to buy the pullbacks and just continue trading with the trend. If we see sideways market, it's consolidating, it's it's accumulating. It's just pausing until for the next move, which could continue to the upside, or it could be a reversal to the downside. Then if we start trending down, like we've seen in the last few weeks, trade with the market. Continue to trade, sell the pullbacks. If you see lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs consistently, then try and trade with the trend of the market. Okay, your fundamental analysis, that's what we just did when we talked about Forex Factory and earnings. So make sure to incorporate a little bit of fundamentals with all your technicals. Emotional discipline, make sure you know how to control your emotions. Make sure you've developed a trading plan, you're working on that. Always use a stop loss order. Don't trade these markets with no stop loss ever. Practice mindfulness and manage your expectations. Simplicity, keep everything simple. Don't overcomplicate things. And this might be the missing piece of the puzzle that you need. Applying common sense to your trading strategy, it might just be this piece that you're missing. Once you include that piece in trading, keeping things simple, using common sense, it might change the world for you, okay? Now, let's get into the charts. You see I have 3 charts on a split screen, so we're going to go through each individual one of these charts. We have 1 more hour until we get a COMEX market open, so I'm going to try and get through all 3 of these charts with a thorough top-down analysis and get us prepared for COMEX. Normally at 8:30 we do have some high impact news. Today we don't, and then we'll be prepared to walk into Wall Street, guys. Okay, so thanks everyone for joining on Zoom. I appreciate all of you guys. Johnny Four Eyes, welcome. Conrad, good morning. Amanda, good morning. Adam, welcome. Sang, Val, thank you for joining. Sergio, Ebi, welcome. X-Red Clues, welcome. Thank you for joining. Okay, and everyone on YouTube, appreciate you guys as well. Welcome. Rolex FX, thank you for joining. Arman, Bakshi's Tech, welcome. Thank you for joining. Romario, good morning. Okay, let's get started. I'm going to get started with gold, guys. XAU USD, right over here. So it is right now on the 1 hour. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go a little higher time frame to the daily and start to conduct the top-down analysis. Okay, so this is how it's been moving on the daily. We've been just breaking all-time highs with everything that's going on around the world. A lot of uncertainty, global uncertainty. We've got tariff talks. We've got all kinds of stuff going on, and gold is a safe haven, and you can see it's attracting a lot of investor volume. Sorry guys, I just want to take a sip of coffee here. And look at, as of last week, midweek, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, you have these 3 massive big bullish candles, and it also closed above resistance points. So let's just get some critical zones first. If we ever do get a pullback, this was a nice area of resistance. The volume closed above here, and I'm just dragging it across back over here to see how kind of this morning star pattern developed with these 3 bars. That bearish bar, you got your inside star, and you have a really nice follow-up candle, bullish engulfing bar that kind of completed that morning star pattern, and we look at the response after that. So we do have demand over here just below 3,000. If it ever comes down there, that might be a good opportunity to maybe look for a possible bounce buy to the upside. We're nowhere near that. So let's take a look at this pivot. When it came up here, it got rejected. That was a new all-time highs up here that had a little bit of resistance, like right over here. Catch a few of those bodies, stretch it in across, and you can see that this body on Thursday closed well above that, closed right near the high, and then Friday opened ignited, and there's barely any wick, and it kept driving. Now we have, I can notice, 2 tweezer top highs on the dailies. We'll see if that's gonna be important today and this week. Okay, so if we scale back, if it pulls back, maybe into here, maybe this might be an opportunity to look for a pullback buy coming out of there. And then some points of interest, like right here. If I don't want to draw another zone, I just draw a point of interest right there on the daily. That was a pivot point where it came up and got rejected and came back down. There it closed above and continued. So if we kind of lose this green zone and it comes down bearish down in here, maybe we'll stop right there. 3,050, nice psychological area. Hold a higher low before it comes down in here and maybe bounce back up. Okay, so you got your kind of zones right in here. You got your points of interest. Again, this is a yellow line, I'm sorry, for points of interest on the daily. And Now let's kind of follow up. We had that nice 3-day push starting a Wednesday, Thursday, Friday last week. We did close above and continue. Let's now follow Friday's volume and then see how everything closed, how the week closed. So Friday, guys, like look, there's barely any wick. We closed 99.9% at the high, and they opened it up bullish, ignited. It basically popped that wick, and we filled huge all-time high price discovery. And look at now, okay? So when I'm identifying today's daily high wick right there, I use a purple line, and you can see how it's pretty much identical to Friday's high at 3,245 and 75 cents. So it's basically equal highs. There's no new higher high or no new all-time high currently right now speaking. So now let's figure out, okay, just from Friday's volume, where half of that volume is. I think we've already traded into it. So if I get my Fibonacci tool, if I cannot guess where half of it is, we don't always want to guess. We want to be 100% accurate. So where's the 0.5? It's right there. So I'm going to place a yellow line at the 0.5 as a point of interest, 50% of Friday's volume. And you can see today we came right down into it and bounced right back up. So can we also maybe identify a zone in Friday's bullish volume? Yes, we can. I'm going to go one notch above to that 618, and I'm going to go one below to that 382. And there's kind of a nice fair value gap. And then now you can clearly see how we traded into it today, right at that 50%. And there was hit those pending orders, and it's rejected back out. Okay, but we still have a bearish head today that could come down, or we flip this candle. So I'm going to stretch this into the future, because if we come back down in here later this afternoon or during Wall Street, I'd like to see if we're going to hold this, maybe bounce back out, or is the volume going to come cut through here and then we're starting to push down here and maybe close below here. Then tomorrow we might have a bearish day coming back down. Okay, so let's just continue analyzing now how the body of Friday closed, how today opens. So I can see that there's no gaps in the market. I can see clearly how it closed on Friday right here and where it opened today. So you can see that it's a point of interest. This is a point of interest for me. 3,235. That's where we closed. That's where we opened. When we opened, it was initially bullish where it came up all the way up. We made our high of the day, and that's where we've got our equal highs. So I'm just going to make a red zone from that purple line to the bodies right there. Okay, just to show us if we do come back in here, we're trading in an all-time high supply zone, okay, with tweezer top highs, okay, so we got to make note of that, okay, and once it got rejected there, we came all the way back down to this point of interest where we opened, and the sellers had volume to continue to push it all the way down where we came down in here and we made the low of the day. So I'm just going to change this yellow line to purple to represent this is today's low of the day, and you see it is exactly 100% right in 50% of the volume, bullish volume of Friday. And you can see that the pending buyers were waiting there. They got hit, they got activated, and you see how it's the buyers are pushing it back up, but we still have this bearish volume. Okay, so right now, I'm just going to look at where 50% of this bearish volume is right there. So I'm going to place a yellow line just as a point of reference, point of interest. If we do come back up, maybe right here, we're going to see some selling pressure, and it's right below 3,230. That's that psychological number. So we'll see. There's going to be a little bit of a battle here. We'll see if the sellers will continue to push it down, or if the buyers can get it above 3,230. Maybe they might have enough momentum to push and flip all this bearish volume back up to the open. And who knows, maybe the candle will flip blue and we're going to fill these wicks and maybe drive for a new all-time high. Okay, so that's what we got going on right now for gold. So I got some key interests that I'm looking at, some points. Again, if we come back down, if it's bearish and it comes all the way back down, normally what I do is I look at the top of the box, but maybe that might be confusing for some of you guys. So what you can do is place a yellow line right at the top of the box. Okay, so we might fill back down there. We'll have something going on here at 32.13. Because maybe they'll protect it there before it hits the low of the day. Okay, so now what I do is I dissect this daily candle into the hourly increments. So I'm dissecting it, and now I can see how it's trading on the hourly. I can feed off of Friday. Like here's Friday 3 a.m. This is the London market. There was a little bit of a morning star pattern going into London on the hourly. It did push up right up to here. 6 a.m. came back down. Here's Comex on Friday, 8 a.m. Wall Street, and then we can go through entire Friday how it closed. And then this was the open Sunday evening, and since then it came. That's where we made the all-time high right up there. It was Sunday night, 10 p.m. And since then it's been making lower lows. Came back in here. You can see a lower high, continuing with new lower lows. Come back up with a lower high, continue with a lower low, and that actually happened at 6 a.m. When we sent out that signal to you guys, that one that dropped for 120 pips, and that actually made the low of the day right there at 3,206, and it's been coming right back up, and we got a bullish candle that might engulf this bearish bar, but there's still 27 minutes left to go. So currently, we are in a big uptrend, like it is rallying. Okay, it did pull back. That doesn't mean gold is crashing or anything like that. It's just a natural pullback, still holding higher lows. So we're going to see, are we going to come right back up? That's that yellow line I like to see tested, 3,229.30 right there. Can we get hourly volume close above that? Maybe we're retesting that, then we're driving again in that all-time high supply box, or maybe it's going to start getting rejected and we come down in here. Okay, so is there any points of interest on the hourly when we start to scalp? Right here, there's a pivot point where it stopped right there, multi bars, closed, open, right there. So you can see how we can place a line here. I make it white for the hourly, and it's 3,220 and 84 cents. We are currently above it. Okay, so if we can keep hourly volume above this white line, technically it is still bullish. This could be, if any pullbacks, this could be support and we drive off of this. If the sellers can close it below this white line may become resistance, and then maybe it will trickle back down. Okay, so that's a good point of reference, this white line to use. When we're scalping, we can utilize that white line. I'm just going to draw the trend coming down from the top up here. So you see we are trending down. If I catch that, the highest wick, match it with that wick, it's kind of like connecting the dots, match it with that wick and bring it down. So technically we are still pushing down in this downtrend, but we have this bullish rally. Okay, so it could just be pausing and it will break through here. Okay, so that's on the hourly, and again it's kind of very clustered in here, so it's not the greatest. It is in this range. It's still accumulating. It's in a larger range, but eventually we'll see if the gold can break out bullish, or if sellers are going to accumulate more and maybe push it down start this week. Let's go into the lower time frames, the 5 minutes, and there's lots of volume. Nice recovery down there. Okay, so you can see when we hit now that high up there, it was exactly, now I can see it was at 10 p.m. last night. It pushed down, held, broke that daily point of interest, pushed down, get it down to almost that hourly white line. It came back up, lower high, they pinned it down. So we're not getting any more volume in that big red all-time high supply box. They're lowering the offers down. Again, lower high, tweezer top highs on the 5 minutes, close below, retest, drop, breaks that hourly support just for a little bit. It came back up and pushed up again. There's our lower high at that trend line, at that daily point of interest, again pushed down. Then we really broke right here. We sent you guys out that signal early to break that 3,220. There's the bar that broke down, and there's that big drop, huge candle at 620, and that's where the bottom is now, 3,206. It rotated right back up, and it kind of recovered everything with a sharp V recovery. So that big drop, you can go up over 150 pips, and if you don't do anything down there, you see how it came right back up to hit your break even. And if you didn't scale out anything, it's sad, like, so that's why sometimes it's not good to just it's good to take some money out of the markets, guys. So we have a pronounced bottom right there. That's our daily low. It's 50% in our box. You know, like when you're looking at your 5 minutes, that's your 5 minute box right there. Like you can clearly see, match it up with the bodies. There's a body, a body, a body, and a wick. So if we ever come back down to that purple line again, that could be a double bottom, and then or maybe they grab liquidity just below it. But right now we close right above that daily point of interest again, continue to push. We're above hourly interest, the white line, and now it's consolidating. Do we have like a resistance on the 5 minutes? Yeah, right in here. So I can see right there was a zone. Right there was support. That red, that bearish body that closed below would make this zone red, right? And then you can see how it's resistance, it pushed back down. If I stretched it across, I can see now with that body that closed above, it would be a support zone. And you can see the retest came in and continued to push up. But we're trending down from the top. And then if I continue with this zone across, now it's bearish with those bars below it. And then I can see the pullback came right into it and pushed down and had that big drop. So if I continue to stretch this into the future, you see how it's just consolidating right below it. So it looks to me like this is like the left shoulder. That's the inverted head, big inverted head that dropped down, but kind of came right back up. And we're trading again right in this consolidated shoulder area. This is the right shoulder. So this could be a bearish to bullish reversal pattern if we start to break through here. If we break the trend line, we break the red box, maybe it's an impulse break, and then we flip it back down to green. Maybe we pull back, maybe we hold this. We've broken the trend line. Maybe this is the new support line for a little bit. It could flag in here for a little bit, and then maybe possibly break up to there. Maybe take out that wick, and then we're trading in the all-time high supply zone again, aiming for 50% of that big bearish bar, and who knows, maybe gold can recover and come back to the all-time high. It could be like a fake out where it just comes up there to the date, and then it's kind of like this, M top double, and then it comes back down here, and then we drop back down, okay? So right now, it's kind of consolidating. We can trap this volume if we like right in here, and we continue to watch how things accumulate. We do have our hourly support line, and then we have our red supply box above us, okay? So we'll continue to watch gold like this. Right now it's consolidating. If you want to trade in this range, you're welcome to. It's a pretty good range for scalping, like from down here to up there. It's about a 40 to 50 pip range. You know, from down here you can get 40, 50 pips. Coming back down if you're selling, 30, 40, 50 pips. Coming back up. So if you feel like you want to trade in here, that's your zone. You could also be accumulating, like if you're selling, like there's sellers here that are accumulating. You can see the wicks, and there's also buyers that are buying and accumulating. So we will get maybe a possible move out of here to the upside or a breakdown to the downside, and there could be fake outs as well. So we got to also wait for confirmed volume giving us confirmations. Okay, so that's gold. We're going to leave gold. Let me add the Scalper Pro to maybe give us maybe some indication of what's going on. Okay, so we had a Scalper Pro buy right here, Scalper Pro buy right here, pushing up. We'll utilize this Scalper Pro to help us out with gold today. Okay, so I'm going to leave gold over here on the left. There's our gold. Okay, and I'm going to do NASDAQ right now. Okay, guys, did you guys understand that analysis on gold? Are we good? Welcome, Promillo Khaled. Welcome. Thanks for joining. Okay, I'm going to continue with NASDAQ, guys. Okay, so now we're moving into NASDAQ. Let's start off on the daily. Pre-market right now, if we just look at what's going on pre-market, some big names. Let's just see what's happening. MicroStrategy is pre-market up 3%. That's due to Bitcoin almost at 85,000. What else we got? Let's see here. AMD. Okay, so I'm just kind of looking at tech securities here. It's up 4%. They were up 5.3% on Friday, and they're up 4% pre-market. That's Advanced Micro Devices. What else we got? Micron Technology is up 5% right now. Nvidia's up 3.4%. What else we got? Meta's up 2%. Tesla's up 2%. Big one, Apple's up almost 6% right now. Okay, so it could be because some tariffs relief was announced on phones, on computers, on chips, on memory sticks, all of these things. So that might be why Apple is currently up. If we click on Apple, maybe there's something going on pre-market. Apple, as of 57 minutes ago, Apple takes top spot for first quarter smartphone sales, data shows. So that could be it right there. Global tech stocks climb as tariff threat dodged for now. Okay, so there it is. Maybe dodging the tariff threats. That's why the market is green pre-market. So we'll see if this volume will continue into Wall Street market open. Okay, so let's start off on the daily on NASDAQ. So just for charting reasons and purposes, that's our all-time high supply up there. Okay, we're nowhere near it right now, but who knows? Maybe if it rallies back up to 22,250, we could get there. There's also a structural zone right here, which was support, but now it's turned into resistance. Okay, right there, it was a green box. Sorry, I didn't make it, but it came down in the green box, back up, came down in the green box, back up, came down deep into the green box, back up, came into the green box again, back up. And then here we actually start to see volume closing below, and then that's why you flip it red, and it's currently red, coming back up, red, and we're nowhere near this. So we got to trade into this red box before we can get into that all-time high supply. We also have a pivot point right here. I think this is the one that's going to play out today. Right here where the market dropped. Sorry, I'll make it green because I said this one was green. I'm not colorblind, guys. It just didn't have time to change it. But right here, you see how it came in, bounced up a couple times, double bottom, and we continue to drive up to here. So this same zone, if we bring it across, that shooting star bar on that daily on April 2nd, that was Liberation Day, when Trump was announcing all of the tariffs. That's when tech basically dropped all the way and bottomed out down in here. So we do have a bottom in the market right there, holding. Okay, so 16,335 was NASDAQ's bottom. And then with this zone above, so you can see how we bounce. We're coming right back up, trading right into that zone. So I'm going red with this because the volume is still below. Okay, stretch it into the future. And so this is our daily candle, this tiny, tiny, tiny doji candle right here. And I can see they gapped it up. Have they filled the entire imbalance? Not the whole thing, but they filled a little bit. So let's continue to move off of. We had this trend coming down, and we have a large, big bullish candle Wednesday, April 9 last week, where it was very bullish. Okay, that's when we had some relief in the market. Can we identify where 50% of that big bullish candle is? Opening price, grab your Fibonacci tool to the closing price, right? And then there's the 0.5. So that's going to be a yellow line for a daily point of interest. If we ever scale back down into here, maybe we hold this as support at 18,150, 160. Can I draw a zone? Absolutely. And then you can see how the wicks are trading in that zone right there. There's my zone that I do on every single candle, like when I'm looking for that meat of that sandwich, one notch above, one notch below. And then now you can see how it came, traded in there and back down. This day it traded right in there and back down. This big candle closed above, so now we flip it green. And then you can see the next day how it came bearish right in the green box, picked up that depth of market, closed right there. Next day again, Friday, came in here and closed again as a bullish pin bar. And you can see now the gap up in the market. So I stretched that across. That could be if we pull back, we could be buying in here and continue to move. So look on Friday, we made a high and we closed right here. Here's the gap open. So it gapped all the way up there. So that's our point of interest. We right below 19,000 where we opened up, like right there. And it was initially bearish where it came to try and fill that imbalance. See, we closed right there and we opened right there. So it initially came down bearish, bearish, bearish and stopped right there. That's the low of the day. That's my purple line for NASDAQ today. And you can see there's still a little tiny gap in the market right there. So I'll make it neutral just to show you like where that gap is right there. We'll see if it comes back down, fills it today, or maybe we're just moving away from it. Okay, so you can see, and it's representing kind of 50% of this big bearish candle on Thursday right there. There's that gap imbalance. Okay, but it did come down there, made the low of the day, and it's coming right back up to the opening, and we have a high, not very high, but it did make a high of the day so far. So that high wick, I'm going to place a purple line up there, and it came back down, and we got this. It's a bullish pin bar with very, very thin volume right now. Okay, and the pre-market was pretty green, so we'll see if this will continue to push moving into the closer we get to Wall Street, and maybe we break out. If we can break out of this red box, okay, let's just take a look at those two bodies. Those are points of interest. So we should put a yellow line right there, see if we can maybe get up here today. Maybe we can possibly break out of this red zone, maybe have like an impulse break on the daily, maybe close above there. Then if we're pulling back tomorrow, this zone will be green. Maybe we're building off of this and continue to drive, and then we're going to aim to take out that wick right there. That's just right below 20,000. Okay, to aim to take out that wick right there. So again, we should have a point of interest right there. So again, driving up to there. You could go as high as the wick, or you could maybe go where the bodies are. There I have a body, a body, a body, a body. Maybe I go right there to those bodies. Okay, so that's if we get that upside move. So that's what's going on the daily so far. And then do we see any physical pattern, like a bigger pattern? So I see this big leg down last week. I see it recovered. It came back up. This is our neckline. Like if this was a 5-minute setup, that's the neckline that we're trying to break. So there was a pullback deep, right, perfect in the green box. We picked up 2 wicks, grabbed that liquidity, and we're coming back up to try and break this red box today. If it can't, then it's going to pull back again, maybe into this gap zone, maybe come back to the top of this green box, maybe get another higher low, then try again. We could just consolidate in this zone for a little bit for the next few days until buyers and sellers accumulate, and whoever accumulates more could possibly break this out. With news like this, what Trump is, like pause in tariffs, tariff relief on smartphones, on memory sticks, on computer chips, on shit like that, anything to do with tech, that's pretty good. That's positive. So maybe we might have enough volume. If the volume enters the market, we could easily break this and continue driving today. Okay, so always put the pieces of the puzzle together. You know, if he says something today, this afternoon, and changes his mind, what he normally does, and says, no, we're going to tariff all tech, then you're going to see it come back down. But when it's coming down, it's got to test this demand box. If this can't hold, then it's going to come down to the double bottom down in here. And if this can't hold, then you're going to have a break in structure, and then the market's going to be bearish again. Okay, so we really have to watch this. Let's go to the hourly real quick. And look at the hourly, okay? So this huge candle right here, Wednesday at 1 p.m., that was when they announced relief in tariffs, and look at how the market responded, very bullish. Look at the pullbacks, again, right into about 50% of that volume. See how it built, couple retests, and then continued to move up. So that's that gap in the market that I was just talking about. That's how the market closed on Friday at 4 p.m. And then you can see how they kind of opened it up, and we still have not came down into here, okay? So right now on the hourly, it is pretty bullish. Like it's making, I can see higher highs, higher lows, but now kind of 2 tops up there at the high of the day, the purple line, and now coming down. Do we have like maybe an hourly point of interest to see maybe if it scales back down? Right there, that last low, 18,900, 905. I'm just going to place a white line kind of right here. Just to give me a heads up, if it's coming down there, I'd like to see this hold, can maintain. That last pullback at 5 a.m. held. We're still about 50% of that candle, 50% of that bearish candle still holding. So right now, if you want to draw kind of like just a trend line from the bottom, you can see how it's still ascending. It's still holding higher lows, but we're not making any new higher highs right now. Maybe we need to get that Wall Street volume in order to break out of here. And And yeah, so right now got rejected. We'll see if it will turn to a shooting star and maybe come back down. Okay, so on the 5 minutes, let's go to the fives on NASDAQ, and this is what we can be scalping. Okay, so I see it hit the high of the day up there at 4 a.m. Eastern, came down, closed below that daily point of interest, dropped all the way down to that hourly. There's our trend line coming back up, higher low pullback. There we get a body close right there. Ignited bar at 7 a.m. Continued to push. Come try and hit those the daily high, and then it's coming back down. Okay, so let's see what type of reaction. Maybe it comes back down to this yellow line. Will it bounce back up bullish? Will it close below here and maybe try to come back down a little bit? So this is that all-time high supply above us here. Sorry, it's this trading over here. And then if we do start to trade in the red box, if it comes up bullish today, again, just look at the 5-minute volume, how it traded in the red box right there. That's a point of interest. We have to acknowledge this right there. Where it did come all the way back up, and that's where they rejected it hard and started the big downtrend. So maybe we will fill that imbalance up to there, maybe drive a little further. If it does, these are kind of my zones where I'm scalping, right up to there. From 161 to 228, and then get it up to 270, 280 up there. Okay, so right now NASDAQ is retracing back down. We'll see what happens right here. Do we have like structure below this yellow line right here? You can clearly see how the market on the 5 minutes held right there. So that would be naturally a green box right there. I can even go backwards to see how it held right there, support. There it was red at one point, resistance. There it was red right there. Okay, but we have volume closing above. See the retest, couple breaks, but no volume close below there. It came back up, hit it. So let's stretch this again. Right there, when that body closed below, I would make it red on that drop. But now, sorry, I moved that by accident. Right there, how that body closed above, you see how we're retesting it, still holding. So if we break this yellow line and it wants to continue to come back down, maybe right there, 18,950, we could maybe buy off of that green block. Maybe it comes back up. Okay, so let's see right now how it's reacting at this daily point of interest. NASDAQ will be right over here in the middle. Okay, so markets are moving at 7:53. We're 7 minutes away from 8 a.m. Okay, right now it's pushing down. Let's watch the close of this. And also gold, it's trying to get through this resistance and that trend line up there. Okay, so we got gold on the left. We have NASDAQ done right in the middle. And I'll get to US30 in just a few seconds. Okay. Wow, they really pinned US30. There's that big FU candle. Came all the way up there. They pinned it down. And look at now the reaction after they pinned it down. And this 5-minute body is going to close in 1 minute right now. Wow, US30 is really pushing down. NASDAQ is starting its next leg down, and gold is holding right at this resistance zone, right at that trend line. We'll see if we can get a break. Very thin volume on gold right now. Glass age cleaning, no problem. It's my pleasure. Thank you for joining. Appreciate you. Stacy, welcome. Good morning. Monday market open. Yep. Okay, so here's the close. Like, look at, wow. Okay, so US30, I'm just gonna, I know I didn't do a top-down analysis, but that, I'm just drawing a line right there. Okay, so like number one, that's a big bearish candle. I would definitely be identifying 50% of that candle, even with NASDAQ. But you can see maybe if it pulls up, you got that daily point of interest. Gold, like what happened to the volume on gold? Can barely see those little spin top candles in there. Okay, so maybe we wait to see how this body will close. It's the last 5 minutes, and then we move into 8 a.m. So will it close bullish above here, come back up, maybe retest this and try to go back up, or will it close like kind of below here, and then 8 a.m. we're going to drop down a little further? Okay, so I'm going to wait this candle to close. Guys, we have 160 viewers on YouTube. Thank you guys for joining. If you guys can kindly hit the like button, and then we'll get the third chart in, and we'll watch everything, how everything is moving leading into Wall Street and COMEX. I can get US30 done. We'll have all three done 100% before COMEX. Let's just watch this candle close, see how they open 8 a.m. around 8:05. Then I'll finish off US30 in 5 minutes, and we'll get ready with all three of them. Okay. How was everyone's weekend? Did everyone get some rest? Did you guys get some relaxation over the weekend? Oh, Henry, you spent the weekend digging up the front yard? Oh man. Yeah, I gotta do some yard work too soon. Okay, like what happened to the volume? You had this massive candle on like US30 that dropped 100 pips, and then now the response is this tiny little candle that I can't even see. So just let it settle down, let it figure out where it wants to go, because we are leading into 8 a.m. in 90 seconds. I haven't charted US30 yet, guys. I just placed those lines right there. That red line is 50% of that candle, and this is just that pivot point where it stopped right there. That's all I did with US30. There's no analysis done on US30. We did gold and NASDAQ so far. Is anyone in a trade right now on any one of these securities, either gold, NASDAQ, or US30? A lot of you guys are waiting. I'm waiting as well. Okay, so also gold open ignited, came down, picked up a wick, coming back up. So let's see if it can push. Maybe we get maybe a little bit of a breakout coming at 8 a.m. But it's still consolidating in that zone. US30 may close below this zone. It might push down a little further, or it might come back up. And NASDAQ is right there, right at that zone right there. Patrick, you're in some gold sells. Yep, you're right below the trend line. You're below the resistance. If you can get that volume closing below this structure right here, that hourly 32.20, 32.21, maybe it could continue to push down, but we're still consolidating in this zone. Okay, so NASDAQ momentarily did close below. So that green zone really quickly, I go red. You can see it just barely closed below, but let's see now. Now it's 8 a.m. So let's see this first 5-minute candle, how it will close. Will it continue to close below here, or will it close above here? And then maybe we can start to see maybe a bullish move coming back up. At least to test this yellow line. US30 is below there, okay, so it's still bearish. If you were drawing a zone on US30, It would kind of be like there, but now it's coming back up. Okay, beautiful candle coming back up bullish. But again, it's how the candle closes, because it could just come up and then they could reject it back down. So we'll stay with this time frame another 4 minutes and see where this body closes, and then I'm gonna start doing the analysis on US30 and get all three of these ready for COMEX. Okay, so that's a nice candle coming all the way right back up. Okay, and then you can see how the momentum changed right at 8 a.m. So I want you guys to understand that concept. I want you guys to learn that. Like, if you guys are selling, if you are in the sell, also just acknowledge that you're moving into a new hourly candle. So it's great to secure some profit, because from time to time, the momentum switches at the hour. Okay, I've been burned by this many times. So that's why I always say, are you going to trade into a new hour? Are you in a trade? What should you be doing? Things like that. Because that's like you're giving away, like if you were in that candle, again, I measured it was 100 pips, and now it's coming almost all the way right back up. So it filled right back up to that daily point of interest. It got a wick so far, got rejected. There's still a ton of time on this candle, still 3 minutes to go. So we'll see how the volume actually closes. That's the most important. It's how the volume closes. It can go up, it can go down in 5 minutes, and it can come back where it opened, and it can go even close below and cause a new low. But right now, it opened, it took out the low, came all the way back up, nice big and bullish NASDAQ right up to that daily point of interest CL line, and pushing back down. So we'll see how this volume actually closes in the next 2 minutes. Same with US30, it came all the way up. It didn't tap into about 50%, just below it, and it's getting pushed down now. And also, if you're a buyer too, that's like an impulse that came all the way up to that yellow line. That's why, guys, I measure everything when I'm trading. Like that's for NASDAQ, that was like a 22 pip move up there. That just came up there and pushed right back down. Okay, now 90 seconds to go into the close. Let's see. What we have to look for is the volume going to close blue above this red box, and we make it green, and then we can see that maybe it's going to build some support here, and then maybe continue to come back up. But maybe it will get pushed down and then close below here. Then the next leg is breaking this trend line and dropping down to that hourly support down to 18,900. Gold coming right back up, testing the resistance and the trend line. We can see if gold will close above there as well. Then this maybe is a bullish flag pattern, still holding. That looks like that in left shoulder, inverted head, right shoulder could break out to the upside. And then here's the last 30 seconds. So this is where we have to pay particular attention. Last 30 seconds. This is where a lot of volume will come into the markets. And it shows who can close it with the momentum. So look at the buyers. They're bringing it right back up to that yellow line. So it looks definitely like we're going to close above this red zone. So we can go ahead and make it green. Okay, so we did close above. It's opened, ignited, short wick. It could break and continue to drive up to 18,996, just right below 19,000. But if the sellers do pull it back, what's 50% of that bullish candle? It's approximately right there. Maybe we could look for a pullback buy on this red line or the green box. Okay, and gold. Gold closed right above that zone. Okay, so if we make that red zone to green, to illustrate support. We had a bullish ignited candle that just opened, just drove a little bit, and now it's pulling back. So let's see if it will hold this zone, if it will build again, gather some volume and build back up to, in order to break this daily point of interest, that 32.29, 32.30 area. Maybe it could break. Maybe we'll catch a pullback buy. But guys, it is 8:06, so I need to finish this US30 chart. I'm going to try and get it done in a quick 5 minutes, but there is movement in the market, so continue to watch gold up here. See if it can continue to maintain up here, continue to build. And NASDAQ has got a nice bullish move coming back up. It may like return all of that big bearish candle that was right there, and it looks like it's returning it back up. So if the market comes back down, maybe we can look for a bottom at the green box, buy there, or 50% right here. And then also we got to pay attention to see if the volume will continue to close above that daily point of interest. Okay, so I'm just going to get US30 out of the way real quickly. Just finish this fast. I'm going to go a little faster with this one. Okay, so US30 on the daily, it looks very, very similar to NASDAQ. Okay, right here was that daily point of interest on the daily. We're pivoted right there. And then now if I stretch this across, I can see that we are currently trading right in this red zone right now on the daily. If it does continue to push up, our next resistance point is clearly, you can see it right there. So those are our zones above us. Okay, points of interest, if we do break this red zone today, maybe we come up to trade up to the top of that big bearish candle, 41,550. I'm going to go yellow line right there. And the bottom, can we see the bottom? Yes, we can right there. So we do have a bottom in the market for US30. And then it's that one leg down, that one leg recovery coming back up, and now we're trying to break through here. So very similar what I did with NASDAQ, 50% is right there. I'm not using my Fibonacci tool because now I'm just going to show you guys how to freestyle it and do it a little faster. I can see the evidence left behind by the wicks. So there's my little zone in there. I can see how we're still holding it. We came down. Now let's just dissect today's daily candle quickly. So again, just like NASDAQ, they closed it here, they gapped it up. That's where we opened. We're right back to the opening price point of interest. So it was initially bullish. That's the high of the day up there. Okay, purple line up there. And then it got rejected. It came all the way down. There's our low of the day. We're still above. We still got some good volume on this candle. We still got a higher low, grab liquidity, still holding this box. Came all the way back up. So we're essentially trading exactly right where we opened right now. So let's see, maybe the daily candle is going to flip like a hammer and start to break through this supply. So that's what we got so far. Let's go to the hourly quickly on US30. Okay, so we can see evidence left behind, that nice double bottom on Wednesday when we had that big pump. Okay, then it came, retraced right back into 50% of that. It held, it held, it held. We continued to push up. This candle is interesting. This was Sunday, right before midnight. It came all the way down, came back up, and we're continuing to trade in this red zone right now. Do we have an hourly point of interest? Yes, like right over here, I've got a body, a body, a body, a body. I can match it kind of with some price action to the left of us. If I place like a white line there, okay, yeah, I got 50% right there. I got a wick there. I got that wick. I could lower it if I want down to those two bodies right here, but I'm going to keep it like right in the middle right there. And now I see, okay, we're barcoding. It's bullish, bearish. Bullish, they pinned it, okay? So they pinned it right up there at that high of the day. And then they moved it. That was a big bearish candle that closed hourly below that daily point of interest. And it closed as a shooting star. And now it's coming a little bit back up, okay? So what's 50% of that big black candle? It's like right there, and it's right at those bodies. So it's coming right back up to 40,540. Let's see if this is going to be resistance and push this down, or if we're going to kind of push above this and start to come back up. But notice that big rejection wick, and notice that big volume, how it closed below. Now we're pulling back. Okay, if they reject this down, we could see US30 continue to sell back down into here. And if it breaks this red box, it drops like there, you got a lot of bodies there. So you got to acknowledge this area right there. You have to. You got a body, a body, a body, a body. And it's a nice psychological number, 40,305. Okay. So that's how it looks on the hourly. Right now it's still barcoding in here. Let's go to the 5 minutes. Maybe we can see something a little bit more clear on the fives. Okay, a lot of crazy wicks going on. This was insane right here. 1105 came all the way down, back up. And then look at how they just pinned it right there. So this candle at 725 came all the way up. That made the high of the day, and they pushed it right back down. So let me get rid of maybe this big red zone, maybe, and then just put this 5 minute zone right here. Okay, still red below there. Okay, so the 5 minutes now. Remember that white line that I said? Let's keep an eye on that. It is coming back up. Let's see if they reject it back down. Okay, so we got some analysis done, and just if we continue to drop down, I'd like to see if it can break this or hold right here. So we're going to keep all these side by side. Okay, so we got gold. Okay, so it moved up, back down, coming back up. 3 minutes, so we didn't really get heavy volume closing above there. It's still kind of consolidating right there. NASDAQ, nice, beautiful recovery. Okay, so coming right back up. Again, I'm maybe waiting to buy a pullback, back down to the yellow line, maybe back down to here if I get a pullback. And with US30, it's slowly coming up as well. And it's 8:12, 8:13, so we're 6-7 minutes away from COMEX market open, and we'll see some movement with gold there. See, right now the US dollar is bullish and gold is bullish, so they're not always correlated. Where if US dollar is bullish, that means that gold has to be bearish, because I can see US dollar is pushing from 99.35 and it's now at 99.64. Okay, so it's been pushing bullish while gold is also moving bullish. Okay, so they're not always inversely correlated. Okay, so also make note, came up here, they rejected it, back down, came up again, lower high, they're rejecting it. Maybe if we see the markets rebound today, the US dollar and the markets rebound bullish today, maybe we might see today gold maybe like pushing down, but it's still strong. It's still bullish. So it's hard to short gold right now. It's still very bullish. Okay, and here we go into the close. And just a reminder to everybody, 5 more minutes and we're walking right into COMEX. So that's a big commodities exchange that opens up every day, Monday to Friday at 8:20 a.m. Eastern, and it closes at 1:30 p.m. Eastern. So you're going to get an influx of volume coming in, especially for commodities, for gold, silver, and any other precious metals. X-Red, your fingertips are feeling like trading NASDAQ, but it's a little hard to read today. Probably better wait till yeah. If you don't got your 100% confirmations or feel confident, just let's wait for Wall Street, or just a little feeler trades just to get a feel of how everything is moving. Okay, so we're barcoding right up here on gold. So it's blue, black, blue, black. If it comes back down, we're trading back in the consolidation, but they've kind of rejected the move up here. And then we're walking into COMEX. And then let's see, maybe COMEX will push this thing down. Okay, and right now, maybe we're consolidating on NASDAQ. So if I get a pullback, I'm waiting for maybe a pullback buy at this yellow line. Right now, US30 is kind of consolidating right at that hourly white line. Again, maybe a pullback buy would be close to the yellow line. Gold just came down, picked up a wick, so I got a wick, a wick, a wick. So there's a lot of support right over here in the last 15 minutes. But let's see if they can push this candle back up. Right now it's clearly barcoding. You got blue, black, blue, black. Let's see if they maybe push it back, close it again strong above there while we're going into COMEX. Then maybe there might be a push, but it could be a fake out move too. So also pay attention to that. Like if COMEX opens up and it's like comes up here like bullish and then they reject it back down, they could do something like that, guys. So let's be careful and just continue to watch. But it is building. Like it's got a higher low, good support. So we could see natural bullish move going into COMEX. Oh, you got EMAs? Yeah, I can add EMAs. It's going to get a little busy on the charts, but we'll add. So gold is trading, holding the 9 EMA. 200, it's right there. Okay, so the 9 and 200, it could be doing a bullish crossover right before COMEX, but just careful for any fake outs there. Let's add some EMAs on NASDAQ. We are currently above the 9. 200's all the way down here. US30. The 9, we're at the 9, and the 200, very similar to NASDAQ, all the way down here. Okay, so 2 minutes to go. We got a bearish candle coming back down. It's an ignited bearish candle coming all the way down. So we might maybe get volume continuing to push down, selling off in COMEX. If it closes below here, this green box again, I'm going to make it red, because we might come back up and retest it and get rejected and drop. Check your spreads, ladies and gentlemen. Check everything, all your securities, whether you're going to trade gold, NASDAQ, or US30. Gold right now, my gold is, wow, it went from 0.5, half a pip, and it just shot up to 2 pips, and then back down to 0.5. Okay, we got 45 seconds to go. So I'll be watching gold going into COMEX. If you guys are paying attention to NASDAQ and US30, it was a nice bullish return so far. Okay, so here's the close. 15 seconds. I'm going to assume that gold is going to close below this box, so I'm going to just go ahead and make it red. I assume it's going to close down here. Here's the close, closing right near the bottom. So you could get a gap down ignited candle. Yep. Okay, so it's opened, coming down. Let's see if it gets that quick wick and will flip blue and try to come back up, maybe test the 9, the 200, the trend line, or the red box. So we got a lot of resistance above us. It's flipped blue now. So let's see if they reject it, maybe, and start to push it back down. Okay, let's see how far it could come up. No, that's it. That's basically, is that it? Okay, I'm going to sell. I'm going to place my stop loss just above the red box, above those two tweezer top high wicks, and see if it can come down to that hourly white line, obviously break it, and maybe push down to, I'd like maybe somewhere down in here and just judge it down there. So I'm just going to test out a sell on COMEX market open, giving it a little room to breathe if it needs to come back up to trade into those EMAs right there. The trend line, also have the red box, and my stop loss is just right above those wicks. Okay, so now it's coming right back up, testing the red zone. We got the rejection. Okay, so it got rejected. Still have that blue volume, still coming back up. Let's see if they can push it down. That's the rejection I want, okay, at the trend line at the red box. But as it was coming down, still coming back up with the bullish volume. Still, indices are moving bullish still, US30 and NASDAQ. Have you guys counted in your head how many times it came up, how many times it got rejected, how many times it came up, how many times it got rejected? Okay, and this is half the candle now is exhausted. We're at 2.5 minutes to go. So initially open bearish, came all the way back up bullish, got rejected where we wanted to get rejected at the trend line below the red box. It pushed down, but it came up multiple times. So they're pushing it right back down near the low of the candle. But there's every time it comes down there to the low, it gets that bullish volume, that injection of volume. So there's a good fight down here. If we can maybe get this bearish candle to close below here, then we could definitely have enough volume to break this hourly support and then start to drop down into here. But it's going to be how this candle closes. I'd love for it to close as a shooting star like this. But hopefully we can run. Maybe we can close below the hourly support with this volume. That would be really nice. And indices are still pushing up bullish. Pay attention to that white line for US30. Okay, so we're trading right at that hourly support, that 32.21. It would be really nice if we can get that volume to close below here. Let me just get the ruler just to measure this. Okay, so that's about 25 pips right now. If it can come down to here, that's about 60 pips. Okay, so we're moving. Hopefully one more push gets us to 30 pips. There we go. You can reduce your risk if you guys like. 60 seconds to go. You're at break even now, red? Perfect. I'm going to go to a break even myself, okay? Because this was the first candle of COMEX. Okay, so I'm at a break even, up 30 pips. Reduce my risk in that one. Maybe I went too early in the sell. You see the retest would have been perfect right there with zero drawdown, but it is what it is. Okay, and guys, if you're happy with a little bit of profit at 45 pips, you know, you can start to scale it a little bit. If not, let's hold this bar. It's a nice big bearish bar. If it does pull back, we have this. We have the resistance of the hourly white line. Okay, here's the close. I'm holding this thing full right now with break even. Okay, but you guys do your thing. Let's see. Here's the close. Okay, we didn't close right at the low. Okay, so we did close. So any retests, we want to stay below the white line. Hopefully we got an ignited bar open. We can take out that low and just start dropping without even retesting. But let's see what happens here. We still have that ignited head. And you can see how the white line is exactly 50% of that black bearish candle. So like right there, that's where, you know, and then if I'm drawing a red zone, I look at those bodies right there, and that would be kind of the, if it pulls back, that's kind of that bearish fair value gap. So we're looking good. We got that ignited bar. It still has not came to retest this. So hopefully with this volume, we can take out that low and drop down to here. That would be about 60 pips. Yep, perfect. There we go. Come on. And then you see there, I've got a wick, and a wick. 32.16 exactly right there. There's 3 points of interest. A wick, right down. If it comes down to that red line, I'll be securing 80% down there. That would be about 60 to 65 pips down there. And then that daily point of interest is right there. Yes, that was good. Let's go. Let's push down with this. If you guys are happy and you want to secure a little bit, do your thing. Yes. Okay, I'm going to secure 80% right there. Woo! There we go. Secure 80% and leave 20% running. Wow. Guys, that's 75 pips down there. Not bad, not bad. Wow. If it can come down to that daily point of interest, that yellow line, that's approximately 90 pips down there. But secure something, guys. Wow. There. Whoa. Right down to the yellow line, guys. Do something. That's 95, possibly 100 pips. Wow. Good job, guys. Holy shit. We ate good there. Recovered your loss, Musa? Nice, bro. Nice. See, we waited patiently to see what was happening. The only mistake was I should have waited a little longer for that and maybe sold that wick or the breakdown there. But it's okay, you know. It didn't suffer too much drawdown. Guys, that's 95 pips. And we might even close below this daily point of interest. Holy shit. That's 100. But that's what we have runners for. We got runners running because you're now walking into a demand zone and you're trading right at a daily point of interest. So like this thing could return, come back up. So you don't want to do something silly here, especially at 100 pips. Okay, there's 100 exactly. Wow. Khaled, you're swimming in pips today. Congratulations. Don't drown. Wow, guys. Holy. So you see the volume of COMEX? When you can read the move, I'll explain what I was looking for after this body closes, because we still have 90 seconds. PYO 126 pips. Congratulations. Wow, that's huge. Okay, guys, we did trade right into 50% of that blue candle right now. Like, no joke. Right there. If you see that low, it's right at 50% of that candle. Okay? So it is trading like in that, right in there. Okay? So this is where this candle could close, get a wick. It could close above that yellow line and we start bullish ignited and come back up. So you can clearly see right there, we shot right into 50% of that candle. And that's almost 120 pips in there. Okay? 115. Wow, and it's still pushing with 45 seconds to go. Guys on YouTube, leave us a like, W in the chat if you guys got some of that. Subscribe to the channel if you're new here. We're crazy at Stock Sniper Trading. If you guys like live trading, live scalping, we're a crazy group over here. We're crazy. Crazy in a good way. Sergio, what was the confirmation? Just one moment. I'll get to it. Let's just watch where this thing closes. And I'll explain to you what kind of my thought process, why I went in a sell there. Okay, so it is closing. We close below the yellow line. So it could, okay, see how it opened ignited and they rejected it right away? If they take out that wick, it could just drop a little bit further down. Okay, so if we got runners, like I got a 20% runner, and then trailing stop losses, guys. You could put like a trailing stop loss like at 50% of this bearish candle, and you could secure your runner like right there. You could secure about 70 pips. So no matter what, if it comes back up, you'll get stopped out there, but you're still secured 70 pips on your runner, if you know what I mean. Okay. And then if it comes back up, if we're still holding this, you should be marking 50% of that zone. You see the red line? That's 50% of that candle. And then I see those wicks right there. There's my next red box. Okay. So even if it comes up, it could come up here, get rejected, and go back down. If you want to have a trailing stop loss, securing all of that, you're welcome to do that too. And hopefully maybe this thing can continue to break. And then that's where the market got saved. That's the low of the day on gold right there. 32.06. That's when we had our SST sell earlier, right there, below 32.20. And it dropped. That's where it recovered. And we might be coming back down. But it might make a higher low and then, and then come back up. Guys, I'm not even looking at NASDAQ and US30 right now. Not just looking at gold. And then another thing, when you have a runner, like for example, I have 20% running. I can close half of my runner right now at 120 pips, and I'm happy. And then leave 10% still running. You can scale out of your runners. You can take partials out of your runners. I don't know if you guys are aware of that, but like I secured 80% on the bulk of the move, and then I got 20% running. But if I want right now, I'll do it right now. I'm going to close out 10% of my remaining 20%, lock in profit down here, and then I only have 10% running. Amanda, you struggle with knowing where to secure the take partials whenever you're happy. Like I didn't expect this big of a move, so that's why I wanted to secure majority of my trade, and then just leave 20% running. I secured a 10% right now, like Amanda, and then I got 10% running, where if it wants to continue to drop, it's still banking the runner. So guys, look at that nice retest of the yellow line. The daily point of interest is now acting as resistance, and we got our next push down. Okay, so it did break. But we are trading in a green zone. We're close to the low of the day, so it could definitely come back up. So that's why I'm securing majority of my trade. Okay. Okay, so Sergio, sorry, I was explaining this. Okay, so when it was barcoding prior to COMEX, right here, 8 a.m. Okay, we closed above there. Then 8:05, it came up and made that high, came back down, closed below where it was barcoding, came up green, or sorry, blue again, bullish. Again, look at kind of lower high wick. I pay attention to these all the time, Sergio. I look for those tweezer top highs. I look for a lower high. Technically, it's a lower high. They closed it right there. And then right here, 8:15. Big bearish engulfing candle, Sergio, closed all the way below all of the structure, closed below that wick, closed below those bodies. And when it opened, it initially kind of came up a little bit. Then when it broke, what I noticed on that candle had no wick. And then I kind of sold right there when it was coming down. And then, do you remember, it just dropped a little bit, but then it came all the way back up, bullish, 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 bullish. So that's where maybe I went too quick early into the sell. That's what I was saying when I took it. But then it came back up. But that's why I placed my stop loss above the red zone and above those two wicks. And then as soon as it came, you can see now clearly, it tapped into our trend line, that big black line right there, into the red box, and just a little bit above the 9 and the 200 EMA, then it got rejected. Had I waited for that candle to come all the way back up and I seen that rejection, definitely I would have taken the trade right there. So regardless, I would have gone in here. I went in a little earlier, but that's the reason you have a stop loss in the market, and you strategically place it above some highs, above structure. So not only did I have protection of the 200 EMA, the 9 EMA, the trend line, the red box, there was 4 confluences of good resistance above me. And then just continuing with this candle, it came, made a low, closed right there. We opened, ignited. It didn't even come to retest 50% of the candle or the hourly white line. Just ignited, continued to take out the low, drive all the way down to 50% of this blue candle. We came back up just now, still below 50% there. So runners are continuing to run, and we got a rejection and continue to push down, guys. Holy shit. So it's really running. Wow, guys. Oh my goodness. That's 140 pips right now. Wow. So if it comes trades down, that's 150 pips back down. The purple line, that's the low of the day. So remember what I was saying earlier. I said if the gold is strong, or not gold, sorry, the US dollar and the markets, NASDAQ and US30, gold would see a retracement, a sell. So that helped me to get into the sell. But guys, wow, we've returned all the way back to the low of the day, right there. There's the purple line, 3,206 and 20 cents. So I'm going to close out the remaining 10%. I'm happy, guys, and then I'm out of this trade completely. Okay, so I've closed the remaining 10%. I have no more skin in this trade. That's a pretty good daily goal right there. I love your company, guys. I'll stay with you guys, but if I wasn't with you guys, I would be wrapping up my day and going for breakfast right now, and I would be out of the markets. But I do have you guys, and we still are not even close to Wall Street market open. So if you guys do have any runners or anything, please manage it accordingly. You should be definitely at a break even, definitely 100%, guys. But we traded right into that demand zone, the low of the day. There's buyers that are bringing it right back up. Okay, I'm going to concentrate now, guys, on NASDAQ and US30. If you guys don't mind, I'm completely out of that trade now. So but I'm going to continue to watch it with you guys. And now, wow, okay, so what is going on with NASDAQ and US30? Holy shit. Okay, so NASDAQ, the purple line is the high of the day. We just broke a new high. Okay, we'll see if it can close with volume above here. US30, it's coming all the way back up to the high of the day is up there on that crazy candle right there, a 725 that hit the high of the day and rejected back down. So we're testing this resistance, this supply zone right over here. Conrad, you caught the NASDAQ buy. Nice, man. Good. Sergio, all good? Yep. You just confirmed your observations with that. Perfect. Awesome, Sergio. Albanio FX, great setup. Personally opened at 32.28 short in the TP 31.87. Reason fill and balance in 4-hour time frame. Nice. Yeah, you're looking obviously on a much higher time frame than me. I'm just looking on the 5 minutes, but definitely could see this continue drop. If we get volume closing below the low of the day, and we flip this green zone red, we might continue pushing down to 3,200 today. Test that psychological area. Guys, we have 180 viewers and only 99 likes, and we just hit a 160 pip trade. Okay, it's not showing any love over here. I don't know what else you guys want on YouTube. We did analysis with you guys. We walked you right through that trade, and all we ask for in return is a like. Come on, guys. If I show you Kim Kardashian's ass, you guys are all going to like. But we're helping you guys financially get free, and we can't get any likes here. Come on. Get your priorities straight. Forget about Kim Kardashian's ass, and look at this. Look at this, fellas. That's what the thumbnail needs to be. It's got to be like something to do with a woman in a bikini or something like that. And I guarantee you we'll only have 100 people, but we'll have 300 likes. I don't know how, but financial education like this doesn't get any love. Nothing. Guys, we got that whole leg coming down. Doesn't get any better than that. Okay, NASDAQ did close above. the daily high. Okay, so like when I'm looking at 50%, I know it's just below that purple line, and then I got these 5-minute wicks right there. So when I'm drawing a zone now for NASDAQ, my zone is kind of right there, a green box. If I'm not in NASDAQ right now, so I kind of don't want to buy the daily high break. So I'm going to remain patient, maybe to get a pullback here at 19,050. US30 is trying to break out, and look at that, the big wick that it could possibly fill. That's a massive exhaustion wick. It could definitely come in there. And but any pullbacks, maybe 50% of that candle, or even the hourly support right there, and that 9 EMA is getting back up there. So if I'm waiting patiently for any pullback buys, I got to wait somewhere in here or here. Whoa, I didn't even notice gold breaking. Oh my goodness, guys. Wow. Guys, that is a massive job. I'm no longer in this trade, but I'm just measuring it for you guys if you guys are still in this. That's 220 pips. Wow. Amanda, you're still holding your gold sell trailing. Congratulations. I wish I was. Oh my goodness. Wow. If it can close, look at 3,200 exactly. 3,200 exactly. That's what I was just saying. It could drop down to that nice psychological number, 3,200. I wish I was in this. But it came down there, 3,200. It's coming all the way back up. 3 minutes to go. Will this bearish volume come back in and close below this? That's the purple line low of the day. Well, we have a new low, but that was previous low. And if it closes below here, this green zone will momentarily turn red. So even if we close below here and it comes back up, it could retest the red box and continue to go back down. But wow. Holy. Okay, pullbacks now on NASDAQ. What I was just saying. Instead of buying the high, maybe we look for now a pullback coming into this zone. Can you guys see? I know it's really all three charts is amazing. Albanio. All this stuff have leveled you up because of us. Now I do myself the chart analysis, how we do. Perfect. That's what I mean. Learn how to fish and you can eat every day for the rest of your life. But join us too on these calls. It's fun. We have a good time. Holy, okay, so that's a big, massive rejection. Where, okay, so you guys understand psychological numbers now. You know when I always say, guys, pay attention to your whole psychological numbers. 3,200 doesn't get any more psychological than that. Okay, that's why I've traded candles for a minute now, and I know that when it hits these psychological numbers, you have to tend to do something. Even if you're up 220 pips coming down there, you're approaching a psychological block in the market. Okay, and there's a lot of gold buyers that want to buy at 3,200 that didn't want to buy at 3,230. So they're getting a 300 pip $30 discount to buy down here. Okay, so us in that sell, you got to kind of scale out, close a little bit down at these psychological levels. Okay, because that's how the markets move. It's an auction. It's an online auction. There's a lot of transactions are waiting right at 3,200. Okay, so we did break down all the way down. It's coming back up. This body is going to close now in 50 seconds. If it closes above this green box, it could be a potential opportunity to look for a buy to come back up. Okay, and then with NASDAQ, let's see if it will close below the green box, at the green box, above the green box. Same with US30. Will it close below this red box? Langasanu, you're new and I feel part of the family. Perfect, bro. We appreciate you. You are part of the family. Retail traders, I believe, should unite, form a big community. We're all in this for the same reason. Okay, here's the close. Look at where they're closing. Right again at that green box. Okay, so it's still green. Now we might open up bullish. Okay, so guys, I'm just going to move this just to the side because maybe we'll see another setup coming up. Okay, And then what time is it? I got to check time. 8:45. Okay, so it's 8:45. NASDAQ, okay, closed right below. So what I'm going to do is just momentarily make that green zone red just to see if we can pull back a little further deeper down into here. US30 is closed below, so we could drop. Maybe I'm looking for a buy at the white line here if it can come down here. Maybe we're going to barcode now. Maybe it comes up bullish, bearish, bullish. You know, let it do its thing. Just like gold. We let it do its thing. Amaret, last time we united, AMC went ape shit. Yep, I remember those days. As Dips, thanks for teaching about Friday's candles. My pleasure, my pleasure. Just let's keep learning together, guys. Learn this language of price action. It's a universal language that can help change your life. For the better, guys. With proper risk management, we don't gamble here at SST. This is a business. This is we go to work every single morning. You treat this like it's your job. You take a break just like at work. You get a 20-minute break at work. You get a lunch break. You do the same thing in the markets. If you hit daily goals, you walk away. You go home. You get out of work. You go home. Get off the charts if you hit your daily goals. Yeah, you are your own Sean, you're your own account manager. You're your own boss. You make your own hours, you take your own breaks. You don't have to answer to anybody. Guys, I'm going to take a washroom break at 9. I'm just letting you guys know. I've had 2 coffees and I need to get an energy drink. Get ready for Wall Street. Okay, so let's just take a look at what's going on. Again, pre-market. MicroStrategy is up almost 5% right now. That one's tied to Bitcoin, but it is also got added into NASDAQ a few months ago. AMD 4.3%, Advanced Micro Devices. Micron, holy shit, is up 7% right now. That's Micron Technology. NVIDIA up 3.5%. What else we got in the pre-market going on here? Meta up 1.3, Microsoft 1%, Google 1.5, Amazon 1.25, Tesla 2.3, Apple almost 7% today. Apple, okay, so Apple, this benefits Apple, okay. What Trump was saying, he's gonna not have tariffs on smartphones, smart chips, all those things. So that's benefiting Apple, Nvidia right now. You can see how NASDAQ is taking it. So it's making a higher high now. Maybe we'll look. Maybe it will pull back prior to going into Wall Street, and Wall Street might be that next bullish leg. Guys, right there, okay? So this is very, very, like, look at this pattern. You got to get to know this pattern, okay? I'm telling you, this is a textbook pattern that you're going to see more often. You see how it came and it bled all the way down to exactly 3200.50 cents. Doesn't get any more psychological than that. I'm sorry, guys. And look at the big response by the buyers. Look at the size of that rejection wick. Okay, remember what I said about the wicks last Friday? Measure the size of the wick, the return. From there to there, to the body where it closed. That's a 62 pip wick, right? And then look at where it closed. It closed right in the green box, and we're opening ignited bullish. So look at 62 pips is the return wick. Now measure from when it opened and how high we are. 62 pips is right there. Right there. That's 62 pips. Right back up to the yellow daily point of interest. So it is now, it picked up all that liquidity down there and they're returning it to the upside right now, guys. Okay? So this is where I missed out on a nice buy. I'm telling you. I was looking, I should have bought this. Do you guys understand what I'm saying there? Okay, so the push down, it came huge. Okay, that was 220 pips from where we took it. It was even maybe 300 pips from the top up here. And it came all the way down to that psychological zone, 3,250 cents. it's not a small wick. That's a huge rejection, measuring 62 pips exactly. So it has a high probability that they want to return that back to the upside. It's already been returned 50 pips. Okay, so off by 10, give or take. But if it returns the full 62, you're right back up to that daily point of interest. Okay, so that's how you can spot like scalps in the market, and how much to know what it could possibly go to. Okay, that's a good tell. Add that to your toolbox, guys. That candle wick right there, and exactly what I just explained to you. And but also the positioning of it. Look at where it closed. It closed back in that green box, which was that bottom and the previous daily low of gold. So we did break, but it got gobbled up, and then they returned it again right in that green zone, coming right back up. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense. That's another quick little lesson. I could make that into a 2-hour webinar and explain that to you guys, and I'm explaining it to you guys live right now. So I don't know what you guys do learning, but add that in your memory, because it might come in handy. Lally, why we don't look just at gold when it's so much volume? We look at everything. You got a choice of 3 charts. You know, if we're just looking at gold, then we will. Sometimes gold doesn't trade like this. Sometimes it's very choppy. Sometimes it just trades like this, and then US30 and NASDAQ are trading. But you have a whole platter of what you like to trade. You know, I try and give my analysis on everything here. Um, Oh my goodness, Albanio, Shipe, Kuya, you're here for 3 years, just another name. I love football. You had only 55 subscribers when I started watching you and Dave. Wow. Thank you, bro. I remember those days when we had 55 subscribers. Okay, guys, so we're leading into 9 a.m. Do you guys mind if I just go take a quick little break, washroom break, grab a drink, and I'll come right back? I need you guys to just continue to watch what's going on here. If bodies close above, just flip the zones green. If bodies stay below, they're retesting. So you got gold coming all the way right back down. Now look at the volume. Okay, so these are big body based candles. Like if we just look at these last candles, these are about now 50 60 pip candles. So if you're trading with a very tight stop loss of 20 pips and things like that, you're on the wrong end, you're technically going to get stopped out. So right now it's kind of barcoding. We got the black move coming down, blue coming up, black coming down. Let's let it continue to accumulate here. Maybe it's forming its second bottom, and we could get that move coming back up going into 9 a.m. Okay, so I'm just gonna go to the washroom really quick, and I'm gonna just grab a drink, and I'll be right back, guys. Thank you, and we'll see you in a couple minutes. guys, sorry about that. We're back. Okay. We had to have a little smoky and grab an energy drink, but we're back. Thanks, guys, for being patient. Okay, so we're going into 9 a.m. right now. So gold, if it closes below here, okay, we retraced all the way back up, pushing down. Let's see where it will close. NASDAQ and US30, are we closing above this zone? Looks like it. So I'm just going to flip this red box green for now on both of these indices right here. And let's see. 9 a.m. is a very volatile hourly candle. Okay, this is our candle now heading into Wall Street in the next 30 minutes. So let's take a look what's going on here. Normally at 9 a.m. I kind of, or any hourly candle, I wait for the first 5 minutes of that candle to develop and close and gauge how it's moving. Amanda, we got an SST alert that came in for gold at 32.05. Okay, so 32.05 is just right underneath this zone right here. So let's see if we can get some more bearish volume to close below here, because I see it come down, going back up, come down, go back up. So let's wait for this 5-minute body, see if we can get that closing volume below there. Okay, so we don't have any bearish volume closing below there, just big rejection wicks. So again, let's wait for confirmation. Let's wait to see if we get any bearish volume closing below there. And let's see how everything shapes up with NASDAQ and US30 in 3.5 minutes. Okay, and if you guys are just joining, thanks for joining. We do appreciate you guys. Hope you guys all had a great weekend. And just reminder that this week is a shorter week. Friday, Good Friday, and Easter Monday. Markets will be a little slower than usual. So maybe kind of prepare yourself for a 4-day trading week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Yeah, Signal also said it's a high risk and you use a very small lot. Yep. Always, you should be always using appropriate lot sizing when you're trading. Don't over risk anything. Okay, so NASDAQ still holding pretty good. US30 traded right into it, pushing up. I'm waiting for the first 5-minute candle to close because it is the start of a new hour. So everything is moving bullish right now. The US dollar is moving bullish, gold is moving bullish, NASDAQ is moving bullish, and US30 is moving bullish. So for those traders that go with correlations, you can see how it's not always correlated. Okay, so pretty big bullish candle coming right back up on gold, respecting this block. It looks like it could be a potential big double bottom, like where it came down there, the one bottom. Yeah, we have our large neckline all the way up there. And then it's coming back down. And in this whole area, again, is trading right in the green box and looks like it wants to come back up. So that's why let's see if we can get volume closing above these critical areas. And we're right below 32.13 is that daily point of interest on gold. So we'll continue to watch if it can continue to drive up there. And NASDAQ pushing. Remember the bottom of this red box where we got this box from? That was from the higher time frames of the supply above us. So if it does trade into there, 19,090, and then you have your psychological 19,100 right there. So NASDAQ is a new high of the day. Tech is a little bit hotter than US30 right now. US30 previously made the daily high up there, and it's still a little bit below the daily high. So you can see that NASDAQ is leading today. Tech news in the market regarding tariffs. And Apple's the big contributor today in NASDAQ. And Apple had some news regarding the tariffs. It's up 6.4% right now, trading at $200 and almost $11 a share. And Friday's close was $198 when it was up 4% on Friday. So there was a lot of nice dip buys on Apple when it dropped down to about 170 bucks a share. It's a pretty good discount there, guys. So we look for, when we're trading the stock market, sorry to get off topic here, but those individual names, like Apple's a household name. I've got 3 Apple iPhones in front of me right here. I use Apple on a daily basis. It's a great company, for technology and smartphones and things like that. When you get a good sound security on a discount, like a premium security on discount, coming back down to $170, so yeah, the market was bearish, but you got still a solid performing security. So it's always good to look for discounts of sound securities in the market, just like when you're doing your everyday shopping. Same thing. It's just we're shopping now for good securities. We're not shopping for clothing. We're not shopping for groceries. When you go to the grocery store, you look for things on sale. Unless you got tons of money, you're buying whatever. Most people are looking for things on sale. Same with shopping for clothing. If you see a really nice sweatshirt that you want and it's $100, maybe next week you go and it's 50% off. And that's when you're buying it. So the same thing with Apple. It's a really nice sweater. It's a really nice tech company, and it was trading at $250. Now you can buy it for $170, and it's returned right back up to 200 and 210. So right there, you make some money. Look for good deals in the markets. Okay, so we closed above there. Now it's coming down. So you can see how it opened. It came up. It didn't have enough juice to take out that high. And now it's trading right back in the green box. Maybe this candle is going to close below. So, sometimes we just got to let it do its thing, or figure out it's coming down there. Is it tweezer bottom lows back in the green box? Will it come back up? Same with NASDAQ. Another thing is, some guys ask me, Ron, why are you not in a trade? Why are you not in a trade right now? Because sometimes I let it develop to go into Wall Street. We're only 20 minutes away from Wall Street, so maybe let's see what they're doing prior to going into Wall Street. And we got gold still consolidating. So it came right back up to that red line. The red line I placed there for a reason. It was 50% of that bullish candle right there at 645. So you can see how we're still holding below it. So that red line is still current resistance. The 9 EMA is kind of catching up to the volume now, finally. And then now we're pushing back down. So remember that sell signal, Amanda, at I believe it was 3205, but just below this green box. So now we got our bearish engulfing candle coming down. Let's see if we can actually close with some bearish volume below there. This candle is going to close now in 90 seconds. So again, I don't have any closing volume there yet. It came down, back up. It came down, back up. Came down, back up. They're all higher lows. So it's showing that the buyers are there, but we needed a nice bearish candle to close below there. Okay, so now it's coming back down. We hit 210, 211, coming back down. It's going to close in 1 minute. So is this going to be the candle that officially closes below there? And then if it does close below there, I'm just going to go through my routine. I'm going to change the green box to red, See, maybe if we trade back into it, if it gets rejected, then maybe we're looking for a continuation sell. And maybe it could be filling this wick and dropping down further, breaking that 3,200 psychological area, and then we're trading back down, okay? So this candle's closing now in 20 seconds. Let's pay attention to it. NASDAQ could be coming down to the green box. US30 could be trading in the green box, maybe closing below. Let's keep an eye on this. Here we go. Okay, so this is kind of the impulse break, dropping down to 3202. So had you taken that sell, you know, you're up a little bit, but here's the close. So I'm going to assume it's closing below there. Green to red. Okay, so look, there's no wick on that candle. It just opened blue. Okay, so if it comes up, 50% is just right below this red zone here. So it got rejected, pushing down. If it takes out that, that's the new low of the day, 3,200. So let's see if it takes out the low, and then maybe we sell a pullback. Maybe I don't want to sell the lowest point of the day because it could come right back up. So if I'm looking for a sell, maybe like right around this area, okay? So it came down to the bottom of the green zone. I have the bottom of the green zone there for a reason. This was when we did our top-down analysis. So we hit the bottom, that's 3,198.50. It created the new lower low in the market, coming back up. So let's see maybe if we can get a retest here. Holy, the US dollar is pumping hard right now, guys. We're right back above that psychological 100. So we hit a low today on the US dollar of $99.20. And right now it's trading at 100.20. So kind of returned 100 points back up. But it's above that psychological 100 prior to going into Wall Street. So we'll see if that will hold up this afternoon. But had you guys taken the SST signal below 3205 and you placed your appropriate stop loss, you're still in this and you're actually up right now. You're up 50, 60, 70 pips right now. You're in the sell gold, Amanda, nice. Yep. Just took a little while for it to come back down. So I'm just going to lower the zone down to that daily yellow line right there to that wick. For any pullbacks, maybe we're going to continue to sell gold today. Any buys might be these short little imbalance fills, you know, those counter buys. Okay, so still very, very bearish. See, I have nothing below here now. Okay, so what I'm going to do is full chart on gold. Sorry, guys. Full chart on gold, because if it breaks, okay, this is the last time 5-minute volume traded down here. It was Friday at 2 a.m. Eastern. So this is pre-London, and there's London, 3 a.m. Okay, so do we see any kind of critical zones down here? Yep, right over here. Okay, there was, you see that Scalper Pro sells, that was resistance at that point. It turned into support right over here. That body closed above, see it came in. So I'm going to make this zone green, stretch this into right now. And maybe we're going to fall to here, 3,190. Okay, so there it is. Where we're at, where it could possibly retrace back down to. So this is a full retracement right now from Friday, pre-London and London market open. Yeah, Amanda, 31.90 for gold. Perfect. Yeah, that's that block right there. Yep. Okay, so if this closes below here, this whole green zone will turn red. But I've got red block there, so I can maybe technically remove this entire zone so it's not confusing. And US30 is still just consolidating, flagging right up above that support zone right here. So maybe it's going to create a bullish flag, continue to accumulate, and then we test the high of the day up there. Or it will not hold and we close below here and maybe see some little selling pressure. But right now it's still consolidating in there. Okay, so there's the close. So what I'm going to do is just get rid of that big green box. Okay. We do have, now I'm just going to lower this a little lower to that wick, bring it down there, get 50% of this bearish candle. Okay, right there, stretch it across. So if we pull back into this, maybe it still holds and we sell back down, and then that would be a good location to secure, to lock in some profit as well. Maybe start to bring your stop loss, reduce your risk, because that could be where the market bounces 3,190 and comes back up. Okay, and just pay attention to like US30. Okay, so you see it's made a move up, it's came back down, it's coming back up. Will it break a little further? Like you got that big wick to fill, and then that purple line is US30's high of the day. So it is impulsively continuing to break out. Will it fill that entire wick, get up there to that high of the day, and then maybe push a little higher as we're approaching 13-14 minutes into Wall Street? Or is it going to just kind of create a high, come back down, and then sell off in Wall Street? Okay, so we're going to just continue to watch this and be prepared for when Wall Street opens. We're going to get a large influx of volume. Okay, it's a shorter week, right? So the market knows that Friday is not going to be, the markets won't be open, so maybe a lot of volume will be coming in today, tomorrow, Wednesday, and Thursday. Legion FX, you're confused. There's no plan. What do you mean there's no plan? I have a plan. I don't know about you. I got a plan. I got a plan every day when I'm trading. I adhere to my trading plan. Maybe you don't have a plan. That's up to you. Legion, Wall Street already opened 47 minutes ago. Since when? Over here, it's 9:17 a.m. Wall Street opens up at 9:30, unless maybe something changed over the last 50 years that I'm not aware about. Guys, did Wall Street open up 47 minutes ago? See, that's what I mean. You do not have a plan. How are you trading when you don't even know what Wall Street opens? Sorry, guys. And you come on here and tell me I don't have a plan. They open 14:30 Italian time. Since when? We're not in Italy. Wall Street is in New York. New York is in 13 minutes. Wall Street's not in Italy. Sorry. Last time I checked. Trump changed the world clocks. Is that what he did? Trump is changing the clocks around the world. Sorry, guys. It's Trump's fault. I don't know what to say, guys. I don't know what to say anymore. Oh, this is so frustrating. And you wonder why retail traders lose money. Like, you gotta know, guys, it's just common sense. Look here. Look at our blog right over here. This blog. Our latest blog, Yield to the Power of Common Sense. Common sense trading is the CST strategy. Common sense trading refers to a straightforward and pragmatic approach to trading financial assets that emphasizes simplicity, risk management, and emotional discipline. It often contrasts with more complex trading strategies that rely heavily on intricate technical analysis or sophisticated algorithms. The idea is to use common sense in decision making and focus on what fundamentally sound rather than getting caught up in market jargon and trends. Okay, so use common sense. Wall Street opens in 11 minutes. Maybe you meant COMEX, but COMEX is not Wall Street. COMEX is COMEX, Commodities Exchange. Okay, it's an exchange that opens at 8:20 a.m. Eastern every day, and that's why we traded gold during COMEX right here. We took the sell at COMEX market. This is not Wall Street. This is COMEX. Okay, guys, we got to understand this. So US30 is filling that prior wick, testing the high of the day. NASDAQ is continuing to move. Again, I'm just waiting for maybe a pullback. 50% right there. Okay. Let's Google it right now. Okay. To show this gentleman Wall Street market open hours. Let's see. What does it say? What does this say? Okay, right here. Google. I'm like Google's smarter than me. The US stock market, including Wall Street's New York Stock Exchange, NYSE, and NASDAQ, is open from 9:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern, Monday through Friday. I live here in Eastern Time. Right now it's 9:21 Eastern. So it will open in 9 minutes. Market open. Maybe you're talking about pre-market trading. Pre-market trading is from 4 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. So we're trading in the pre-market right now. While after hours trading is from 4 to 8 p.m. Eastern. Okay, there it is. It's just really simple. Just Google it and you'll figure it out. But don't come on here and say I'm wrong. Okay, so still gold is still running bearish, pushing down. Again, let's see if it can get to that 31.90 prior to Wall Street market opening. We're continuing to push on NASDAQ and US30. Again, guys, it might start to get a little bit overbought according to RSI. Okay, US30 is already overbought. It's above 70. Okay, that doesn't just give you the right to just start selling right now. Okay, because you're selling against a lot of bullish pressure. Okay, and then a pullback for US30. 50% of this candle, psychological number, 40,700. Maybe right there, a pullback. Just going to remove this consolidated zone. We've accumulated and moved out of there. So I want you guys to now see, look at like US30. It's trading at the high of the day right prior to Wall Street market opening up. Chucks, how can you access your blog? Just visit our website right here, stocksnipertrading.com. Come to our website and go over here, more blog, and you have the entire blog. Everything is available for everybody here. A lot of good stuff in here. And we're going to get more and more and more blogs up daily, every other day. Lots of content and good content, guys. It's everything that has to do with fundamentals, technicals, risk management, psychology of trading, news in the markets, anything relevant today. Okay, so we're now trading at the high of the day, exactly right at the high of the day, 40,743 for US30. Continuing to push on NASDAQ, and gold is just consolidating down here, just right below that block of 3,200. So it could definitely push down to 3190. We might see it maybe bounce back up to maybe 3206, 3207 here. Okay, so I'm just going to start to clean up the chart a little bit. Armandi, the market closed on Friday. Stock market will be closed. Equities will be closed. You can trade Forex, like you can trade gold and things like that. So April 18, Good Friday. Equities is closed this week. Okay, so they're gapping it up. Okay, so they're trading into all of this. If you guys are in buys on NASDAQ, buys on US30, trail your profits behind. Okay, and gold is just continuing to settle down here. So maybe a pullback, potential buy for Wall Street, a pullback if there is one. Otherwise, it could just continue driving. Hamish, welcome. Could you please do a quick check of USD JPY, new follower from New Zealand currently? I would love to. It's just we're a couple minutes, 4 minutes from market open. It's just the timing. I would do it if it was earlier, but right now, sorry, we just gotta watch market open right now. Okay, so we found a little bit of a bottom down here. 195 for gold. It's coming back up. Will it come back down? Maybe a second bottom. Will it come down to 3190? Or are we going to build off of this? US30 and NASDAQ are still really bullish. Okay. The whole pre-market is pretty much green across the board, especially tech. Why? Because of the tariff relief. Okay, and we're 3 minutes from market open. Okay, please, guys, utilize proper risk management. Okay, because the volume is going to get a little heavier. It's going to be volatile, so just please trade according. If you were in that gold sell earlier with us, it's not a good idea to risk all of that on in Wall Street. You know, secure some profit, trade with what you're willing to accept if you take a loss, you know what I mean? But don't give everything back to the markets. Try and get in a good habit of learning that. The discipline to continue to compound and grow your account. And let's see how the markets open up. Monday, brand new week. Let's see what's going on. Okay, and if some of you guys took the additional sell on gold in the Discord, congratulations, guys. Right over here. So that sell setup, Amanda, if you guys got it, good. I was waiting for more volume to close below, but if you guys got it, 3205 to 100 pips, 195, a 0.2 can be a daily wage, $200. Not bad. Congratulations to those that took it. Okay, here we go. 90 seconds to go. So it looks like they pinned it so far. NASDAQ up there. Just going to bring this red line down to there. So 133. Gold, if it closes above here, this little zone, again, was 50% of that bearish candle. Now it could invert, could be an inverted bullish zone. If it closes above here, maybe a pullback, maybe we're buying off of this. And then maybe have a double bottom and continue to drive up on gold. If it closes back below here, then we're breaking down and then we're going to come down to 3190 down in here. Waiting to buy NASDAQ pullback share? Yeah. Let's see if we do get some pullbacks. Maybe there isn't any pullbacks. Maybe they're still going to have like a blow off top where they release a lot of bullish volume. But let's just be careful, guys. Let's just be careful. If you're going to take any kind of impulse trades, guys, I would highly recommend you do reduce your risk because like you could get candles that are, we've seen 100 pips, you know, like it could come up like that's 75 pips. Okay. So just proper risk management. Here we go. 30 seconds into the close. I'm going to assume gold is going to close above this zone. So I'm just going to make it green for now. And please pick what you're going to trade. We got gold here on the left, NASDAQ in the middle, and Dow Jones on the right side. Here we go. Market open. Okay. So this is that volatility, guys. Okay. Look, let's see if they can pick up some liquidity. Okay. Didn't hold 50%. Came down to that green box. It's got a wick right now. Okay. Apple is up 7% right now. Watch your spreads also. Yeah, 100%. Watch the spreads. Okay, so it came all the way down. You see how they kind of opened it up? What do we see? Do we see tweezer top highs on US30? Technically speaking, yes. Okay, so we've got tweezer top highs. They didn't break for a new high. Pay attention to that. And then they're dropping it. Okay, how will it react in this green zone? Okay, so it's very bearish. That's why, like, you can see how Wall Street in the first 30 seconds can eliminate all of these bullish candles. That's why I'm saying, guys, sometimes when you're walking into a market open, you got to secure some profit or do something because something like this can happen. So are they coming down? Going to take out all those pending orders, take out all the stop losses, and then bring it right back up? Possibly. NASDAQ looks like it could be doing that where it came down, respected here, and could be breaking, continue to drive. Wow. Okay. So look at it really push down. Okay. So this is what I mean, guys. If you don't know the time when markets open up, this is part of your job. These are the basics of trading. Gold coming right back down to this green zone. If it closes below here, we could push down no problem to 3,190 and maybe even more. Okay. So if you don't feel comfortable trading this candle right now, let's wait for it to close. There's nothing wrong with waiting for it to close. At least we get more information about it. Now it broke that zone. It just broke the hourly support white line. Is it going to come down even further? Is it going to catch a wick and go back up? Where will this body close? These questions I can't answer until the next 3 minutes, until this body actually closes. Otherwise, I'm just speculating. Okay, there I see it come all the way down to right there to the 90 MA red line and bounce back up. Same with now US30 came, broke that hourly support, coming back up. How will the candle close? Half of it now is exhausted. 2.5 more minutes to go. So just like look at the range, okay, from the high wick to where it went. That's a 100, almost a 200 pip range for US30. NASDAQ's range right now is 60 pips. And gold's range right now is 100 pips. Okay, so you can see how the volume has substantially increased right now. And look at you, gold coming back down. So a little lower high, continue to push down. If it creates new lows, maybe close below there, we could definitely be tapping into 3190. For anyone that's still in sells in gold, look for it to close below there. What is the plan right now? The plan is to be patient and disciplined right now. That's the plan. Let's let the market in the first 5 minutes dictate where it wants to go. Unless you want to trade this, you're welcome to trade it. But just remember what I said. There's a massive range. So if you're trying to trade this and you got a tight stop loss of 20, 30, 40, even 50 pips, just a little move of volume, you could get stopped out. So you do have to substantially decrease your trading size when volatility picks up like this. That's why, guys, you know, when you're going into profit and it's market open, you should be securing a little bit, okay? Or you know, that's why sometimes maybe don't get into a trade right prior to market open, because something like this can happen. And then it sucks because maybe you've been trading since 8:30 and then they do this to you. Okay, so now the last 30 seconds. Now we pay attention. Okay, where's it going to close? Okay. Okay, Okay, so it came all the way down there. It's coming all the way back up. Is it going to close above the green box? Will the next candle be a bullish candle, similar like gold over here where it came back up? This one where it came down, closed in there, it was, and then had that next push up. Is US30 going to be something very, very similar? Okay, there's the close right in the green box. Okay, so it's coming back down. Let's see if it can get a quick rejection wick, and maybe it's going to go back up to the upside. Okay, right now still bearish. NASDAQ came down. Let's see for it to flip. Here's the flip. Watch. I'm going to go in a buy if it flips. Like if it turns to a hammer, okay, right there. Come back up one more time. I'm counting in my head how many times it's going down. There's the flip. Okay, sorry. I'm going to go into a buy. I hit it by accident really quickly. I'm in a buy on US30, looking to fill up maybe to that red line above. Okay, and that would be about 50 pips right up there. Stop loss, sorry, I didn't move my stop loss. Below that wick right there. Okay, so I think I went in a little too early on this one. I got a little anxious here. Okay, so it's got a higher low. Let's see if it can build off of it. Again, above that hourly point of interest. I went in a little early. I admit it, guys. I had ants in my pants. Suffered a little drawdown, but let's see if we can escape this and come back up. Okay, so it's trading right at that hourly point of interest. Can we create a little depth of market, some support right here? This 40,600 area. Okay, so it's still picking up some depth of market. Sorry, this zone is still red. I'm sorry, I changed it. I apologize. I went in early. As soon as it turned into a hammer, I went in because I saw it go down and it flipped back up to the hammer. So I admit I went in really early on this one, and I'm suffering some drawdown because of that. Learn from my mistake there. Still in it. I'm in drawdown. I got my stop below the previous low. I'll verbally let you know when I'm stopped out. I thought it was a pretty good deep pullback. Holy, NASDAQ is really pushing down. So looks like maybe US30 is going to follow with it. Unless maybe US30 is going to come back up, fill, and then push down. But in there, I'm just looking for it to retrace back up to that red line. Holy, NASDAQ is now approaching the daily point of interest, yellow line, right there. Okay, maybe look for buys off that yellow line for NASDAQ or this box down here. Less than 2 minutes to go. Hopefully I don't get stopped out of this. It can build a little bit, then maybe the next bar could return. Similar to like NASDAQ came down to the daily point of interest. If it can start to pick up the buyers, maybe US30 can catch right back up. Okay, markets are fast today. Markets are very, 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 very fast. Also, if we can just close above this white line, then we're closing above that hourly point of interest. We still have the higher low on our body currently that I'm in. Okay, it's approaching my stop, very, very close to it. We got almost tweezer bottom lows currently on these two bars. Let me just place like a red line there. So NASDAQ is respecting that daily point of interest. We're flipping now maybe in the last 30 seconds. Oh, this would be fantastic. If we can flip bullish into the close, this would be really nice. Then maybe we could take that momentum and just start driving back up. But the close of this candle is going to be very important. But as long as we can close above the white line, that's a positive. But But if we can flip this bearish volume, that would be even better. But lots of resistance up there. So came up, but they're bringing it down. So it looks like it's going to be stopped out. Here's the close right near the low. So it looks like it's going to get stopped out. Okay, stopped out. That's it. Okay, so I'm going to look for another one. Okay, so maybe I got to let it come down to this daily point of interest. The 200 EMA is down here. So just a block in the market right here. If it does come down there, let's see if the buyers will step in here. If it breaks, right there. Sorry, guys. Gold created a double bottom. Okay, so let's watch gold too. Down, up, neckline is right below that red box, and push down. You got tweezer bottom lows on those 5-minute candles, so it's creating this move right now. So what I'm going to do is just lower this red box just a little bit, right down to those bodies. Okay, so if gold can get above here, we could look for a push back up on gold. Pay attention to gold too if you're trading gold. So this bottom right there. Okay, there's the W. Down, up, down, coming back up, tweezer bottom lows. Holy shit, okay, the market took a shit now. So I'm not going to fight buys now. I'm going to wait to see if the buyers step in the market. They were there. They pushed it all the way back up, but then that volume came all the way back down on NASDAQ and continued to push down. If it closed below here, you guys can see that it's kind of losing all of its pre-market volume, and we could actually see some tech securities go from green to red. You know, it's unfortunate, but that's what happens when markets open up like this. But let's see. Still, we got 945 coming in. Holy wow. Big, big sell-off. Okay, so NASDAQ trading at that hourly white line, the 200 EMA. Let's see if it can find a little bit of structure here. US30 came back to the daily point of interest, 40,400. And I'm going to look for one more trade in the next 15 minutes, guys. I've taken 2 trades today. The gold sell, that one I got stopped out on. But if I take one more this morning. Okay, gold is now creeping back up. Remember, that was the prior low of the day where it broke. So maybe it gathered the volume now, double bottomed, coming back up. So we could see maybe gold move to the upside a little bit. Markets are still very bearish. Wow, like look at just the first 15 minutes of NASDAQ. It's trading back, it's giving back all its gains from 5:30 a.m. So you can see 4 hours from 5:30 to 9:30, and it just takes 15 minutes to give everything back. So it's, guys, these markets are crazy volatile. Still pushing down. That's the daily low. That purple line down there. That's the daily low. Okay, so we got a spin top with 40 seconds to go. Okay, so if it closes, let's see. Maybe it will make up a little bit coming back up, but we still have hourly resistance. You still have the red box and 9 EMA. Here's the close in 10 seconds. NASDAQ broke the 200, coming back up. So let's see if volume gets above this box, above that trend line again, and maybe we could look for like a NASDAQ buy, maybe a US30 buy. Okay, so they gapped it up. Oil. Okay, so this is NASDAQ coming up to the trend line, red line here. Okay, gold also closed above, ignited bar. You can make this zone red to green quickly, guys. There's a lot going on. Okay, there's a lot of opportunities to get in a lot of trades here. Okay, so it did push up, pulling back. If it trades back into the green box, watch it, see if it will pick up a little bit. Lots of volume, a lot of volume in the markets. Okay, US30 came up, got rejected, coming back down. Can we build something right here at this hourly area right here? Can we build something off of there? Coming back down. Let's see if it can build something. Watch gold, guys. We'll keep an eye on gold. Okay, so gold came up, pushing back down, ignited body. See if it can hold in that green zone. I'm going to test out a buy on gold. Okay, so I'm going to go in on gold. I like how it's still holding that ignited body in the green zone. My stop loss, I'm going to place it just below 50% of that bullish candle below us, like right there, and looking for it to come back up, maybe to trade up into here. So I'm testing out a buy on gold. This probably will be my last trade of this morning. We'll see if we can push up with this. And markets are still bearish, so they kind of faked it back up, pushing it back down. It's not holding yet. Got a scalper pro buy that came in the market right here, just below 3,200, 31.98.99. So let's see if we can build this next. If it can accumulate and consolidate in the green box, that's good. Hopefully it develops a little bit of buying momentum. Maybe we can start to trade back up to that yellow line. Okay, so up to the yellow line, it's about 50 pips up there. And then to that 50% of that bearish candle right there, if it gets up there, it could be about 70 pips. But remember, we got to get through that little red zone right there. So let's see if gold can get a little bit of bullish volume. You got NASDAQ pushing down, US30 is pushing down, Bitcoin is pushing down, US dollars pushing down. Let's see if a little bit of that volume will trickle into gold right now. And maybe we can get gold back up to 32.15. And also watch the wicks too. Watch the wicks of NASDAQ and US30. Keep an eye on those wicks. Okay, they are breaking, but they're coming back up. If we can build again, consolidate here, maybe we could potentially get that next leg coming back up. Close to 10 a.m. We're 10 minutes away from 10 a.m. And then the close, the most important close, 45 seconds. Will NASDAQ continue to close below that trend line, below this red box? It'll still continue to momentarily be bearish. Will it close above here? NASDAQ, or sorry, US30 came all the way down, coming back up. Barcoding, you got the black, blue, black. Will it continue to barcode here? Maybe that next leg could be building. but still heavy, heavy, heavy selling pressure. Okay, here's the close on all securities. Good return on US30. Bearish igniting candle to start gold. So again, if it can just trade in this green box and build with a wick, if it does come down, we got our 9 EMA just below the green box. We're still holding respectively 50% of that bullish candle. So now it's coming down. Let's see if it can catch a wick in the depth of market and flip back up. US30 is ignited, guys. Okay, so we got an ignited candle. Just lost it. And let's see if we can catch a wick. You know, like right now would be a perfect opportunity to pick up a wick on gold, where we're still maintaining this green zone. And you can see, remember from earlier on, the hourly white line and the hourly white line, and you see now how the volume from Wall Street is just kind of right in between these white lines here. So you can see how the volume is now accumulating right here in between that hourly resistance and hourly support. Yeah, I'm in a buy on gold. I'm in a buy on gold. ML, I'm in a buy on gold. Yeah. I took a buy right up here at 32.08. US30 is too choppy, too much range. Let's let the volume come in. Same with NASDAQ. Let the volume come in, and let's take a look at 10 a.m. when we walk into 10 a.m. in about 8 more minutes. Don't have any news today, any significant news. Yeah, things will switch up at 10 a.m., guys. Things will switch up. You know, just like we saw how things switched up at 9 a.m. We saw things switch up at 8 a.m. Maybe momentum will switch at 10. So gold, okay, it's coming right down, right at the bottom of the green box, the 9 EMA. We caught a wick there. I was hoping to catch a wick a little higher, but that's good. We still got our buyers interested. We're still trading in our green zone. It is a bearish candle, but we did pick up a higher low currently. Still 2.5 minutes to go. So let's see if it can continue to build and push back up, leading into close to 10 a.m. So that's a good return wick on gold. Okay, so it's always good to, if you get comfortable with using EMAs too to help you out. That's the EMA 9, that green line. We're still holding it. So it's still considered to be bullish above the 9 EMA. But we have this bearish ignited candle that opened ignited bearish. So the buyers are trying, but you remember that candle opened bearish ignited. It's a very strong selling candle. So it's not easy to flip this volume in this candle. And these things are just consolidating with a large range. I would stay away from NASDAQ and US30 currently until something develops. Let them accumulate the volume. Maybe we'll see that next bullish leg coming back up, or we'll see the next bearish leg coming down. RSI is a good indicator. Yeah, it's okay. It's I use it for divergence purposes. It does give false signals. Okay, a lot of indicators give false signals. But we can utilize it to see, is it still holding this 9 EMA? Is it going to close below here? Speaking of which, RSI divergence on gold right before the scalper buy. Yeah, there was a little bit. Yep, where it made those lows, and then you can see the RSI going up a little bit. Little bit, not crazy, but it is there a little bit. Maybe it was for this leg pushing up. Okay, so we are starting to get a little bit more positive volume with NASDAQ and US30. Okay, again, where will it close? So we came roughly right into 50% of that bullish candle right there. The pullback is about 50%. Okay, so there's the close, 9:55. So this last 5-minute candle is the one going into 10 a.m. And it is a bearish candle again, starting. Okay, so can it come back up? Trade in this green box, pick up a little bit of buyers in here and continue to go up, or is it going to be ignited, take out that low, and that's where my stop loss is, guys. I don't want to continue to hold this in drawdown going into 10 a.m. because that's where they could really drop it down. So my stop loss is like right here, right around 32.01, just below there. Okay, so NASDAQ closed above the zone, red to green. Sorry, guys, it's a lot to do here. Red to green. It's retesting that trend line again. Let's see if the buyers are present to push this up. And if NASDAQ kind of breaks out of that yellow line, that could continue above that point of interest. We could come back up and fill back up to there. If you're looking for a short scalp, like 50% would be to 19,016. 50% of that black candle, like right there. US30 is slowly, it's building with these ugly candles, but it is slowly building. But, you know, it's just coming up, back down. Choppy market open. This is choppy, guys. Wow. Like, okay, so I gotta watch my stop loss here too on gold. I kind of hate getting stopped out right before a new hour, but you got to adhere to your rules. Two minutes and 30 seconds to go. So still bearish. Bearish volume coming below. This could continue to push down. So watch the close going into 10 a.m. Bearish volume is continuing to come down for NASDAQ and US30, and it could open bearish and continue dropping going into the new hour. We got a nice wick finally. Good on gold coming back up. Let's see if we can close like with a nice strong close going into 10 a.m. and then maybe we can get that bullish gold momentum going into 10 a.m. So I just escaped again, almost getting stopped out down there. Hopefully we can build off of this volume. Don't want to see it close black below here. That's not good. That's not a good sign. Okay, so it looks like it wants to come back down. It's testing the low of that wick where it had that good return back up. So it's testing its low. Now it broke. Okay, so it might come a little lower with 1 minute to go. My stop is very, very tight just below here. So let's see if it can hold its low and push back up. If this body closes below, this green zone's got to go red. And unfortunately, we're trading below a supply zone. I'll verbally let you know if I get stopped out here. Okay, I'm still in it, holding in this drawdown with 30 seconds to go. Maybe I can hold this and the gold gods are going to save me here. Let's see. Still holding it. Another good solid return. Okay, but we still have that black volume. If it closes below this green zone, unfortunately, we're going to up against that red zone above us. So hopefully it can close blue back in there, bullish back in there, keep it a demand zone, and go into 10 a.m. Okay, so it closed right below there. Holy shit. Okay, so I go green to red. So the buyer's got some work to do. It's an ignited ignited bearish candle. Okay, so that's how they open 10 a.m. Very strong selling pressure. So it could come take out that wick, and that's where my stop loss is. I'd like to see it pick up a higher low right now. Tweezer bottom lows. Can it hold? Hold, hold. Okay, good. It held so far those tweezer bottom lows, exactly where my cursor is. Okay, now can it flip? Remember, it's a hanging man candle starting at 10 a.m. They opened it bearish, but look at those equal bottom lows. Okay, so it held just a couple points above my stop loss. But that's the importance of understanding tweezer bottom lows, tweezer top highs, equal bottom lows. Okay, so we got to flip this body up. And then hopefully it flips. We got a hammer that can maybe cut through this supply. And then maybe we get some blue volume, bullish volume closing back above here, and we can build off of this, and we can return our red zone to green. Any pullbacks, maybe we build, and maybe we might see some momentum turning back up on gold. US30 and NASDAQ are just too choppy right now, but they are building. It came back down, back up, came back down, coming back up. So kind of let them naturally build. It might build bullish volume, it might build bearish volume, but let it build. Don't force trades on these. They're too crazy right now. Too much range. Okay, now NASDAQ looks good. Okay, came down, back up, that yellow line, back down. It's got a nice bullish engulfing candle that's coming up with 2 minutes to go. So let's see the closure of NASDAQ. And unfortunately, gold is coming back down. Okay, so if it breaks those tweezer bottom lows, that's going to be my stop loss. Okay, I'm stopped out of there. Gold, that's it. I don't want it to continue to break down. Got stopped out there. So it's still below the red box, could come down, could build. Don't want to kind of fight it. That was enough room. I gave it to breathe. I was below 50% of that candle. Those tweezer bottom lows held me for a little bit, but I don't want to give any unnecessary gains away right there. So it got stopped out. Continue, guys, if you're going to continue trading this afternoon. I'm going to stick with this. Let's wait for this body to close on US30 and NASDAQ here. And just watch if it closes above here. Could build and come back up. Wow. Okay, so they really pushed that up there. That's an impulse break. Sometimes they fake you out. You impulsively buy that, then they slam it back down. And then gold coming back down, testing back here, that 3190, but it's still bearish. So this block held. So it's not really breaking above 3207.08, holding down. We'll use that for later on. So what I do is with that purple line, I'll place a signal there later on in the day. If gold comes back up, maybe it will close above here, and then this zone will flip, and then I could look for buys later on in the day. However, if it keeps pushing down, still got selling pressure pushing down. Here's the close, both NASDAQ and US30. Nice big bullish candle forming. Pullbacks, okay? If you're looking for a pullback buy, maybe this yellow line. See how the yellow line kind of represents 50% of it? A pullback maybe here. If it goes a little lower into that green box trend line, some traders are already trading this candle right now as it opened. US30 did close right here at this zone, red to green. That's it for me today. Okay, guys, there's a lot of volatility. Shit, it sucks that we had the shitty volume, like this consolidated volume. Maybe it might open up for the rest of the day. And you know, when we normally come in at post New York, sometimes there's some fantastic trading around 11 a.m., noon, 1 p.m. If you're going to continue to trade this afternoon, maybe, you know, there might be some clean volume to trade. So just stick with it. You know, it came down. It didn't really break any structure down here. It got, look at the liquidity US30 grabbed at that daily point of interest, grabbed all that. 5 big long wicks, and it's coming right back up to trade back up here. So it could be a bullish day continuing. Continue with maybe these pullback buys in this zone, maybe this zone here. I would lift this one maybe right around there. So you got your pullback zones. If you're going to continue maybe to patiently wait for pullback buys. Same with NASDAQ, maybe buy this yellow line, maybe down in here. Gold looks like it might continue to be bearish. Lower lows, that lower high, I tried to get that buy to come through there. Didn't happen. They closed it below and then they continue to push it down. Maybe it's got to pick up a little more here and come back up. But maybe if the markets are going to be bullish, maybe gold is going to sell off a little bit and retrace. Some liquidity from gold may come back into the markets. So guys, sorry about those last few trades. Tough session today. Tough session. Monday market open. But just trade careful the rest of the afternoon if you guys are going to trade. Dave will be back tomorrow morning, 8 a.m. in the Zoom, and then I will be back tomorrow post New York, 10:30, 11 a.m. Eastern tomorrow. And we'll see what we can do in these markets, guys. We win some, we lose some. That's trading, guys. And tomorrow, we'll see you guys. We have pinned at the top of YouTube a free Telegram channel for you guys. It's, where is it at? It's this over here, guys. So there's a free Telegram over here showing the trade ideas we took earlier this morning. If you guys want to join, we'd love to have you guys. It's a free Telegram on here pinned at the top of YouTube. And if you want to become a member, you can join us. There's 50% off on all accounts, and you get to trade with all the snipers in Discord and the other private Zoom sessions we have, guys. And just take it easy. Start of the week. We hit a big trade on gold. I didn't give back all my profit. I gave back half. I'm still in the blue, but I'm going to look for some continuation trades maybe this afternoon. I got an alert on gold. Right back again at that 3206, that purple line. So if it builds off of this and comes back up, you know, it looks like it could be building. It might be a slow build, but it looks like it came down. That's considered one bottom there. The neckline is what I tried to buy that breakout up there. It didn't work out, but now I can see it came all the way back down. I wasn't willing to give my stop loss all the way down there. Now I got stopped out right there at that red line. I can watch how it's building. If it comes back up naturally throughout this afternoon and comes back, I'll get an alert right there. Then I come back to my charts, I watch. I have the opportunity to maybe sell the red box back down. But if it's building like a nice strong double bottom, getting all those nice big rejections there, it could come back up, close above there, and then simply I'm looking for a pullback buy right there. That 32.7, 3206, like in here, and then maybe start to get it trading back up to 3215 and maybe 3220 back over there. However, if it continues to push down like it is doing right now, like I have an alert up there, but also if it closes below here, it just could continue to sell down. Then I'll sell down with the market today. I'll sell down with gold. If I do, you know, if you do decide to continue trading. But it's just really it's tough. It's very choppy. Like US30 is choppy. It came up. They're pushing it back down. I don't like scalping these type of candles. I'll be honest with you. I like trading something that's more trending. You know, where you can see visible pullbacks to buy, visible pullbacks to sell. This type of choppy stuff, it gets you frustrated. Believe me, this can get you really, really upset trading this. You go in a buy, they slam it down, hits your stop loss, you go in a sell, then they bring it back up, and it's the game that's being played this morning. So, you know, I'm realizing that with my 2 stops that I don't want to trade this type of garbage anymore. I know that maybe later on today might be much better volume, tomorrow might be better, but this is kind of the volume that traps you. This is what I'm telling you guys. I get frustrated trading this. I could imagine you guys get frustrated. And then this is when we do silly things. We start getting pissed off. We revenge trade. We give back today's profits. We give back last week's profits. You get very upset. You blow up a funded account. All of those things. Guys, this is what we have to recognize. This is tough volume right now, and it's not really trending anywhere. It's just, you know, trading in a much larger zone where it came up here, back down, coming back up, back down. So it's not really, let it accumulate. Like if you got to make your consolidated zone a little larger, then make it larger, like up to there, and let it accumulate all of this. And then eventually maybe it might redistribute, then start to really trend. But right now, like US30 is accumulating. Sellers are accumulating, buyers are accumulating. Sellers might accumulate and continue to dump this down. Same with NASDAQ. Maybe it's accumulating in this range right here. Like let it build. Don't trade this stuff. And gold too. It's building. It's coming back up. Okay, so you can see this 31.95 is holding 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times. It's traded in here and it's been rejected 6 times and continued to build. So maybe later today, gold, we could see it breaking above. I would place an alert here, guys. 3206, 3207, 3208 above this zone, and it could build and then have nice bullish this afternoon. But careful trading, guys. Careful. Today's a tough day. I admit it. Very, very difficult. Very choppy. So sometimes it's part of our job to recognize tough volume, shitty volume, choppy volume, and stay out of the market as much possible, or reduce your risk when you're trading this. You know, it's just one of those days. Okay, guys, have a good day today. It's just the start of the week. It's just Monday. We have Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and a slow day Friday due to Good Friday. So we'll see you guys tomorrow, post New York. I'll see you guys on YouTube and Zoom, and Dave will be back 8 a.m. tomorrow. And we'll see you guys. Have a great day today. And just trade safe, please. Thanks, guys. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Please kindly leave us a like if you had some fun today and you learned anything. Leave us a like. We do appreciate it. Thank you, guys.
Recording stopped.
Hey guys, good morning, welcome to the live session of Stocks Never Trading. My name is Dave, guys, my partner is Ron. Let's get down to business here, guys.
In on US30, sell. Okay, I'm jumping in. Guys, that's a 100 pip drop. Yes, we caught it. Hey, guys, 200 pips, please secure.